Okay, give me a sec. I'll see if I can fix this. Like, it is being very weird today. Apologies, folks. So it should be a case of, if I set it there, that brings nothing through. Testing, testing. For some reason, we do not have any game audio coming through. And I don't know why. One sec. Okay, I think I see the problem. There we go. We are in action, folks. Goodness gracious. All right. Apologies, folks. After a little bit of mute time, we do finally have the audio we're looking for. So, Pro Scout's coming through. A little bit of a weird one, really, actually, from Core. Lucifer, in the meantime, is going for the Mass Lords builds. It is going to be Hobblars. I'm still wondering what the thought process was behind the early lumber count. Like, he didn't even get a single tech, and it wasn't like he got harassed off the gold too early, necessarily. But he will at least get the first tier, so this is a good sign, actually, for Core. Whether he'll get more is now the big question mark. Because he has got Archer Spear coming, and it is going to be Archer Spear. Okay, this gets very interesting then. In theory, actually, H3 archers are pretty good at dealing with yeomen. You got the same movement speed. Well, better movement speed, rather. And your DPS is the same, right? But you don't pay more like you do for yeomen. There's extra range, sure, but the marching drills, like the line to gap close, is a pretty big deal. Horseman, archer, spearman. I'm quite liking Core's odds here right now. Notches. Just going to straight up start contesting. No upgrades coming on either side with the blacksmith so far. More yeoman scaling, but I believe, yeah, he scarred that, right? Did Core actually get a glance on that? I'm not sure. Flash coming in now. The Lords are just going to front. Pretty much just being ignored. The weird part, though, is he's using archers to try and take out the Hobbler as if that's going to be any quicker. No, the Lords and the Hobblars are both equally annoying, difficult to kill. Hobby's now steering towards the blacksmith play. Now, the Core has the right idea. If he really wants to register damage with mass archers, he's going to need those upgrades. But unfortunately for him, Lucifer beats him to the punchline. We've already got the undermesh on the way for the Lancastrians. A little bit worrisome, actually. Like, what is your plan now? Because you're losing the archer game all of a sudden. Right? Yeoman's about to take the lead. And to be honest, Core is eating through wood real fast. Like, this guy should just nickname himself the Beaver. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. There's a lot of infrastructure. And not so much in the way of units. He's priming the Steeled Arrow, but this is just an opportunity now for Lucifer to go up and again on a blacksmith deck if he chooses. Reminder, this is a best of 5, so should he lose here, he's out. He will not be getting that third place. I'm hoping we've resolved the tech issues now. God, it's been a stressful start to the day. I'll say that much. But I think we're good now. And come on, no. Well, the problem is a Hobbler went down over here, right? So he knows. Yeah, so the Hobblars are going to find the scout play. And, I mean, he hasn't got much at home. I think he's got maybe 2 or 3 deer remaining. He's been eating through them fast. Scouts get denied. Lucifer continues to scale. He even has more spearmen being prepped now. The hardness stats coming in. And the tricky thing here is, like, your own horsemen aren't going to feel that great into Hobbler. Not with the Lords of Lancaster. The Lords of Lancaster just chunked them up so well. And the horsemen also jumping the gun. He's got the archers to snipe down the spears. Yeoman now arriving. He's just going to be intercept on both sides spearmen here. Lord's starting to kite back. Lucifer is just trying to exude that aura longer. And it's working because Core, he's not finishing. There's no coup de grace. Finally it comes through. But the numerical advantage is getting wild, guys. He's just losing on archers now. Yeah, it's just raw yeoman into archer mass. Second wave arrives on the gold! And Core loses 6 in the blink of an eye. GG, a speed run of a third place matchup. And that is going to be a very simple finish on the podium for Lucifer. Yeah, that was quick. So, everything's running smooth now, right? Even maybe even Spotify is not going to be an ass to me now. Let's have a look. Because before it was double musicking. Sorry about it, guys. Nope, it's still double musics. But that's fairly easy to fix. Because I think I know exactly what has happened there. That'll be volume mixer options. No, I just need a 6 Spotify. Output should be... Oh yeah, it's set to music Elgato virtual audio. Was it meant to be Wavelink? Yeah. Okay, there we go. What a mess. Use new AMD processor, everything will always run smooth? Hell yeah. Like our stream is now, baby. We live on TikTok too? We should be. Yes. I mean, like I said, this is nothing to do with AMD. This was literally all Windows Update's fault. Windows Updates basically screwed us pretty hard today. And yesterday. The unbridled incompetence with the updates is baffling to this day. You'd think that like a company that's been doing updates to their systems all these years would like have a bit of foresight on it. But no. What about some ambient lights in room streaming? Hasn't really felt necessary because like we're actually quite light, we're quite vibrant on color, right? But guys, that does mean we can get ready for the draft of the grand finals. So we have got grand finals. Let me just update. And it's going to be LoueMT versus VortiX. I feel bad because Court was so excited. He's like, "Are you going to cast? Are you going to cast the third place match?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And then we basically had tech issues into very, 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 very quick series. Yeah. Lucy too good. Yeah, I didn't catch game 1 and 2 core. Like, we were having our own issues. It's just saying like Windows updates crapped the bed and like disabled all of my audio settings. So like I got back, I was like, all right, we probably missed game 1, but we'll catch the rest. I was like, oh, 2 games have happened already. They were gambles. Yeah, when I heard you Dark Age Rush China, I was like, yeah, that's risky. G3, you don't know what to do? Dude, it's like, people keep saying, oh, the Lords aren't broken. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think, like, I was talking about this before, I think Lords might need to be, you get 2 in Feudal, you get 3 in Castle, you get 4 in Imperial, maybe. It's, like, crazy. I think, in that game, like, actually, have you tried Mind Work? I think maybe Mind Work is the way. Because then you can, your horsemen are just so much better at that stage, right? And then you also get your archer upgrades much quicker because he beat you in the archer upgrades, which is really problematic. I'd say experiment with that because I think you're going to be seeing a lot of Lords on the ladder, so it'd probably be a good time to try that one out. I also, I don't know. I don't know if Pro Scouts is the play. But like that's the thing. If you're going Mind Work, you're not going to do Pro Scouts, right? Instead, you'll probably just try and like wall the back deer. He beat upgrades because you have no gold access. But the idea is like if you have Mind Work, right? Like that's what I mean. Because you go Pro Scouts, right? Maybe there's a way you can play the backside because then you can get... you can even like potentially open spears there. Because like he can't get Hobbler online without gold anyway. So maybe you could Dark Age rush him into Mind Work is what I'm thinking. I know that sounds weird because it's like Lancaster villages, but I do think sometimes the Lancaster villages, like the fact that they have short bows is a bit of like a A bait? No, no, dude, don't... Like, you're not rushing his TC, though. You're rushing his gold, which can have, like, 2 or 3 people on, right? But, like, the thing the thing that makes English much better at defending than Lancaster with their villages is the attack speed aura. Like, it actually does matter. Like, I don't know, I guess... Maybe, like, either 1 or 2 spears. I know it's a bit funky, but you could just, like I said, straight up feudal and then mine work anyway. And then you just, like, open into archers, horsemen. Leaving lords before anyone else? That's a lie, mate. I was the first one to say, dude, I've even got recordings mirrored. I got receipts, brother. Dude, I remember saying, like, everyone like, yeah, Lord, like, Lancaster Castle's so good. I was like, but the future will be. Oh my god, dude, I just realized. So we're waiting on Louis, who decided he would queue up because he didn't expect the third place match to be 30 minutes long. What do the lords cost? 160. The problem isn't the lords, though. It's the fact they make Hoblars so good. But like, I remember I said at the time, I was like, the Lancaster Castle may look broken now, but getting 20% health in feudal, there's no way that isn't going to be broken. Right? And like, it's funny it was Hoblars. Ask Lucy, he said you don't know? Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I've literally... Did you remember the KPMM? Did you see the one where B got beaten by Mio Micah doing that? Like, I think it was Shushi versus... Or Shushi or China versus Lancaster on Cliffside. I legit just think you like Lancaster on Cliffside is almost an auto win. It's brutal. Okay, so... I believe we are stuck waiting for this matchup. So... It's a water map. We'll fast forward, guys. We're waiting for the draft, the grand finals. But until that happens, I mean, we might as well watch the game that's holding it up, right? So it's going to be LoueMT versus Dumu. Should be a quick one, right? House of Lancaster. This was the matchup that qualified Dumu through to the EWC main event in the qualifiers yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. I think with Lancaster and the Lords builds, like, actually, here's another thought for you guys. It's kind of broken on water more than people realize. Because the Lords buff the health of boats, right? That's actually a disgusting thought. They actually buff the health of boats. Imagine House of Lancaster on Canal. Are you guys imagining? Are you throwing up yet? Yes, it's got this Lord for free. Oh, sorry, it was game 3 Lancaster Marlians. I thought he said he'd Order the Dragon versus Lancaster. Sorry, no, it's Order the Dragon Knights Templar. My bad. Yeah, I got them mixed up. But yeah, this is pretty brutal. I mean, Lancaster is an absolute bully on water because of the way they scale. You know, for a start, like there's the healing, the extra healing impact. Like, you're able to get up a lot quicker. And the other thing, the most obvious one, is the same thing with English. Have extra range, Lamau. Like, 1 extra tile range, pretty crazy. So yeah, Louis, I mean, it's a bit weird the way he's had to start this because I think genuinely when you're playing against English or Lancaster, scaling into mass sprinkle chips is a trap, right? Like, economically, he is ahead, yeah? So it kind of makes sense, but then you realize you're never getting good trades because your opponent outranges you. So usually what you're kind of looking for is demo play. And considering how clunky and bad archer ships are right now, like, demos can work. Remember, archer ships miss if you just basically go... parallel to them, right? Like, if you go in opposing directions, like, let's say they're aiming this way. If you just go this way, they always miss. So demos is usually kind of your get out of jail free card against English Lancaster, but it doesn't look like Louis going for that. No, instead, it looks like an H-up is going to be the occurrence. And, well, Dumu, he goes for this for a good reason. Who cares about a white tower? You can get access to the most broken ships possible. Whoop, whoop. Bao Chuan's levels of Giga Unfair incoming. Yeah, if this reaches Imperial, Louis is heavily disadvantaged, guys. So for him, it needs to be a win in the castle. Or the dragon already just munching through that Archon, so not really getting any big impact of the buff over there. Obviously, the villages themselves are better. Fishing count, 14 to 11. Respectable. Sprinkle crew is now coming through. Like, this is the thing. Congrats, you just leveled up. You're going to get, you know, the same range as your opponent for 5 seconds, and then they're going to get more range again. It's just so obnoxious when you play against this. So. English as well, right? I think it doesn't happen as much at the absolute high level because it's a little bit more chill there. Sorry, not chill. It's a little bit less chill there, rather. Like, I think English and Lancaster really get this advantage when nothing happens. When it's kind of a stare down. Which is kind of what happened here, right? There was no hard commit. Whereas, you know, you talk about a lot of the competitive games. Like, we watched a lot of Holy Island where the timing just never occurs. Like, the person just can't actually get the age up, right? They can't actually get into the tech without losing a critical fight, because it's basically like the thing about going for Admiralty, you're sacrificing one whole boat, which, I mean, at this stage, whatever, like one whole boat when there's like 20 boats, who cares? But at the start of the game, it's very snowbally when you give your opponent a one boat, two boat advantage. And, you know, Admiralty is technically 1.5 to 2 boats, depending on the types. Now, the hilarity is Louis has built so many Springle chips. Dumu's going to be the one going boom, 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 wanting you in his room. Yeah, he's stockpiling the boys. A little bit of poke pressure. I mean, it makes sense because of their positions, right? Like, he has his opponent pinned against his own shoreline right now. Demo ships are going to be on the way, though. Louis, he's stockpiling a lot of them, actually. He's hiding them inside the boats, but good reactions out of Dumu. It's just so difficult, this range, but the backstab! Oh, what a hit! He snuck the dock round the back! That was incredible! Oh, Louis, it was so slick. I was like, wait, there's no way there's 7 demos inside there. Where's the rest? And then I just look across and see this, and now, yes, he is indeed using the relics and the docks. This is Giga Brain by Louis. You get a 5% buff on all military boats' attack speed for every single relic you garrison inside docks. We never get to see this, but it's such a smart read. After that demo here, after that attack speed, there's now no doubt about it. He's advantaged. And interestingly enough, it looks like Louis is going to try to use that to just age up instead of commit for a kill. Demo connector on the side. And reminder, folks, we are waiting to kick off Louis versus VortiX. We're just letting this pub game finish because he decided it would be a good idea to queue. So we should be back on schedule with that in a sec. And then we'll probably hang around and do some of the EWC qualifier games. So we got you covered. Each way to Sunday, baby. I mean, dude, he's just shell-shocked after that. But this is the absurdity, right? Like, he's going to go H4. And this is where the game can break again. This is what I've been talking about. This is the thing you aim for. Ships of the Crown. It gives your characters more damage, more health, and more range. Now, 10% more range wouldn't really break the game by default for characters. However, you have to remember that Lancaster already got an extra 1 range on all those boats. So it turns Carracks into these absolute beasts that only Shushi can match up against. In fact, the extra range used to be 20%. They had to nerf it because it was that broken. Nothing could trade with it. It was kind of nice to see, you know, China and Shushi losing on water for once, though. Push now coming in. Tech up's completing these sides. We have got to focus on the swivel cannons, rather, which makes sense. But demo connector there. Well played. Louis getting some free damage in. Archer ships trying to block the chase, but man, Louis, this is so beautifully done. He just keeps creeping in from nowhere with demo ships. But still, the Berkshire, this is the problem. He did just try to dive a Berkshire throughout all that. And by the way, guys, there you go. Look at the Lords. Look at the Lords. If you can actually fight anywhere near them, he's getting up to 117 HP. Dude, what? No. There we go. I was about to say, 117 ain't right. Remember, 5% extra. Where this gets giga ridiculous is like Carracks. I'm telling you guys, Lords of Lancaster and Canal will be meta. Getting shipwrights and age early, you know. I need to test that, but I don't think if you put a Lord in a transport ship, it works. Because there's a lot of things like that don't work. Like, for example, if you have an Imam garrison in a building, they don't heal everyone next to the building, right? But definitely go test it. I haven't had a chance to. Carracks starting to spam up. interesting part is Dumu hasn't been able to get any out yet. They're about to arrive, though, the Masters of the Sea. And he already has Ships of the Crown queued up. This is the Giga Broken Tech, the one that gives him the range. I'm going to fast forward a little bit again, because obviously we don't even want to get to live. We want to get to our next series. But the chase is on, man. The swivel cannons. This is the absurdity, right? Like, why does swivel cannons also get increased range? It's just impossible to catch an opponent like this. Yeah, the only thing really going for Louis isn't quality, it's quantity, which he's doing a great job with, by the way. Still 10 swivel ships ahead, but remember, like, if you get to the edge of range, it's all these little swivel shots going off with no return fire. And wow, he cuts the fleet. Carrick's diving in, L's back, just being spin to wind with the 11 tile range. Why 11 tile range, you may ask? Because that's all I've really got for you. Double Sacred Sight now locked in. I love this. Lou's like, well, dude, it's a Berkshire. How do I break him? It's the stupidest thing to try and assault into. So you know what's easier? Just go for a Sacred Sight victory, Lamau. Props to him. It's actually a pretty smart move. Incendiary shots coming out from the archer ships now. Military count is neck and neck, but remember, this is Lancaster, baby, so Dumu always had the option of getting more resources with the manners. But guys, I can't believe it. Like, you can actually win games without manners. He has 0 manners. We've done it. We achieved a balanced world. Huzzah. Man, these swivel cannons. I think swivel cannons are pretty cool tech, but just seeing them with Admiralty always looks silly. Because at least just Admiralty on its own, you have the argument they have to turn and shoot at you, right? But not with swivel cannons. They just shoot as you go, even if you're looking in the opposite direction. Louis, I don't... What? Louis, what the... What's going on? This doesn't look like the way he wanted to fight. Almost like maybe there's a mispathing. Carracks are now starting to spread out and engage. Now, the cool thing is he has got that attack speed buffer, right? Carracks taking 4.62 seconds here. They take 5.62. So he's attacking 1 second quicker with each of these Carracks. That's pretty impressive. He's still up against a ridiculous damage, health, and range buff, though, which makes his life a living hell. And you can see in the count, right? Dumu maintaining more Carracks now. Most sprinters being removed. Demo ship backstab trying to come through, but good reaction out of Dumu. Does kind of seem weird that Dumu's just got no cannon fodder left, though. And so will allow Louis to shove him away. Well played. And you know, the thing that worries me here is if Dumu can't get a resounding win in the fight here, this is the win con. Sacred Sights. Did he get... Yeah, he's got 4 garrison in. So guys, he's got a 20% attack speed buffer. Demo. Good connect there. Well, the reason the score's not on screen is because this is a pub game. And there is no score. We're watching this one so that we can get into our grand finals because LoueMT is playing in that grand finals. But we need him to finish this bloody game. I'm half tempted to message Dumu and say, please tell Louis he has a tournament to play. If you want a free win, please tell Louis he has a tournament to play. There we go. All right, so how is this going to end, right? Because, like, Dumu needs to make a move soon. He hasn't got stone for a keep drop. He's queuing up knights. Okay, this is a solution. He's going to go for a transport ship drop. And yeah, he is actually pulling the workers across there as well because he's out of gold on this island. The problem is this island doesn't have any gold, right? So you have to take control of the central one, which would be pretty sick. There's 2 relics he could actually just take away from Louis. Remember, it's not just the gold trigger for Louis. This is also key to his trade outs there. The reason he's able to fight back is due to that attack speed. I just realized I didn't hit the record button at the start of this game. God damn it. I mean, in fairness, I don't know. I don't think anyone ever wants to watch water games on YouTube now that I think about it. Like, maybe Canal, things like that. Even, it's weird. It's hard to get people to watch Canal, even though it's epic. So here we go. By the way, can we just agree that Lancaster has the best masts in the game? Those sails look phenomenal. All right. A castle drop coming in, which for some reason is in pink. Wait, wait, what? What was that? You guys, you saw that, right? Why was the castle pink colored and not building? Please, someone clip and ship. What the hell? Spectator bugs? All right, castle up. It looks like this game is not going to end. Let's speed up more. We'll get as close to live as we can. Oh my god, 20 carrots? The demos! Oh, that is 5 down the drain. This is just vile, man. And also, yeah, he deleted the docks. So that's 2 relics just down on the ground. So Louis is not generating gold, but also not getting that 10% extra attack speed. Which means his characters are just simply worse. He has got a demo ship fleet prepping. Where, though? Am I blind? Because I... Oh, they're coming the long way around. And from both sides. Oh, he's looking for the fishing, but like Dumu, he doesn't have much. It's only 13, and he split it up. Strongest individual ship in the game? Yep, the only one that comes close is like the Shushi Nestabees Balchons, right? With the extra range. These things are brutal, man. Like, it's just so hard to reach. Oh, okay. Let's just fast forward a bit more. Carracks, like, I don't see how Lancaster will lose this. What is fun to watch in moderation? Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I think I fast forwarded too much in the early game because I'm like, oh yeah, this should be over soon. We've got a tournament to do. But maybe this would have been an uploadable game. I don't know. Like, it's kind of dirty just watching these things. Dumu Louis games, I swear to God, these two. It's almost like they have a pact to reach the late game. And it's just so annoying to kind of connect, but nice find there. Sweeps in. Needs to be some counter demo plays coming in soon from Dumu. We'll slow down to 2x speed just for this big fight. Not getting the connector, though. I feel like what Dumu needs is like a hard, firm pump of probably 8 or 9 at once. He really wants to clear this fleet. Nice thing as well is it just feels so easy to take out enemy galleys. He's going to be fully retreating here. Louis is aware that he's just kind of overextending, so we'll start to back off. Now, what is up, my boy Cal? Thank you very much for the raid, mate. I hope you had a good stream. Welcome, one and all. We're just getting ready for the grand finals between LoueMT and VortiX. We just need Louis to finish this never-ending game of water. Big sinker there. Triple galley goes down. Dim immediately queues up demos. He's got 30 galleys, bro. And yeah, the relic, he deletes his monastery, takes his monastery, takes the 6k gold as well as the wood. 8k down here as well. Denied Louis getting back on the island entirely. Really well played by Dumu. Looks like he's kind of struggling a little. I think that's the gap in economy, right? It's like he wasn't gathering for a bit. Also, it's kind of crazy to think how good manners would have been at this stage, right? Like 36.5 minutes into a game, and Lancaster has not built a single manor. I didn't realize this was possible. I'm pretty sure that's an illegal move by Lancaster. You know? You don't want your people to have homes? What kind of savage are you? Oh, hey, B. Oh, wait, was it not a bug? It looked like a bug, because was he not building, or was he just... I guess he was standing there. So Louis kind of griefed him by putting a castle, like, there. Interesting. It genuinely didn't look that way, though. It was so seamless, it looked like it was a switchover. Demos. I think Louis might be in trouble now, right? Like, he's got the AK down here. But he lost some of his relics. Okay, no. He's good. he snuck back on. He actually did get the castle up in the end. Okay. Dumu does have a ridiculous lead on Carrack. We are up to live now, so we've gone down to 2x speed. I kind of... 1x speed, rather. I kind of like 2x speed for boats, you know? Maybe that should be the default. I'm really annoyed now I didn't hit the record button. It would have made for a game, that's for sure. And yes, this is Ladder Archipelago. I.e., anything could happen, really. How does this end, man? I mean, you're eventually going to run out of... Oh, for God. No, I just had to open my mouth, didn't I? He's already trading. It's bad trade, though. Yeah, preferably you want to be trading over here, right? The problem, though, is for Louis. Louis doesn't have trade. He has temporary sources of gold. He lost a lot of his regnance value as well. Remember, he had 4 relics before. Trading where you can just make manas, right? It's almost like they give gold too, but you also don't have to spend population. Why is Dumu still not building? Is he like doing a challenge where he's not allowed to build manas? It feels like it. Oh, Carrack creeping. Demo connector. This is good. Yeah, remember, it's just Carracks here. They're terrible at taking out demos. Good connector. Sinks one. Almost gets a second. Actually, will with the blast fruit. Nice played. Carracks clean up. I would be impressed if Louis wins this from here. This is like a very annoying position to find yourself in. You lost like your relic advantage. And you're inherently just up against these bullcrap, most ridiculous, most broken boats that you can get, right? It's just, it doesn't feel fair. Like, this has to end eventually, right? I mean, technically, every game of Age of Empires 4 has to, right? Like, because, you know, think about it this way. Even if the game would go on forever, at some point, you know, you're going to run out of savings to automatically pay your electricity bill with, at which point the power supply company will turn off all power to your property, right? And then you will have lost. So it's just a matter of time, really. Man, could you imagine that? I'm annoyed now. This would have been a great one to upload for the titling. It's like 40+ minute game, 0 mana build. What? Oh boy. The L's back though. This is the kill point. Louis, we talked about gold. It's actually wood. He's got so much down here, but he hasn't been gathering it. He's dry. Elsbach just gets deleted. And Dumu, it's just never running out of wood. He's got 11 more Carracks queued up. Come on. Like, what do you even do against this? I think, so here's the thing. I think this is how you make Lancaster reasonable water. Take away Admiralty. You can actually have them keep this, you know, Ships to the Crown tech, right? The one that gives 10% more range and 20% more damage and health, right? Whatever. That can be their unique niche, but you can't let them have Admiralty as well. I think, like, either take Admiralty away or legit just move the range on Ships to the Crown entirely. Because when you add those two things together, it's ludicrous. Like, Admiralty puts the Carrack up to 10, which means you're still getting extra 1 range from Ships to the Crown. And while we're at it, can we then also just get rid of the stupidity of Shushi getting a 11 tile range voucher once? Then we're Gucci. But Louis, at this point, I mean, he definitely can't afford Gucci's, Dolce's. Be lucky if he can actually afford Adidas. He's looking like he's approaching poverty. Has got some demo ships coming in to try and intercept. I just really don't know what there's left for him to do. Yeah. It's like he's struggling to actually split his economy between gold and wood, really. And every time he clears one boat, Dumu instantly just vomits out another one, right? Due to the back queue. That's the real problem here. Just so much boatism to try and get through. Demo. Nice little connection there, at least. That's right, I am casting on Sunday. Huh? Gotta get the grand finals coverage. It'd be a robbery not to. Demos. Alright, yo. Dumu. Stop thanking someone for their prime sub. This is not the moment. Guys, it's fine. He's got like... It's fine. Oh no. You sunk some of my boats. Anyway. Hey, I want to party queue up with Dumu when Anno comes out. Like, I'll be Lord of the Land. He can be Lord of the Sea. We'll be quite the force. You know what makes Dumu such a good sailor? It's the lack of hair. Yeah, so the thing is, like, because he's full skin sensitive on his head, when he's steering from the helm, he can feel the slightest change in breeze, which lets him know where to steer to optimize his sail capacity, right? To get the most maneuverability out of his boat. That's the true superpower of Dumu on water. And Louis has realized that, which is why he's now... It's done. All right, we can get back on with Le Schedule because we did just have the 3-0 win for Lucifer, folks, but now we should be able to get into the draft for the grand finals. So let me just reset everything. So map draft just happened. Civ draft, we are midway through. And will you look at that? House of Lancaster gets snatched away. Yes, it will not be in the hands of the Spaniards this time. Oof, that's a pretty important grab as well. I think Lancaster, like some of these maps, like Cliffside, I think is the god tier one for them. Like, what do you do against them Cliffside other than just get roughhoused? Opening map, by the way, is going to be Boardland for this series. So a reminder, this is the grand finals for the $3,000 Epoha's World Cup tournament. Marine Lord is not in this grand final, but he'll be like, oh, it does not count because it is it was not a we're not doing an S tier grand final, so it's fine. I just pass away and it just come in the next one and then I'll win because I'm the jump, so it's absolutely fine. He's still got the opportunity to try and flex the S tiers, but with what I saw of the VortiX Marine Lord, I only saw parts of it. But what I glanced of it, I think VortiX might be snatching the EWC tournament. Unless someone has been cooking up something super secretive. That was a good French accent. Thank you. Thank you. I like my accents. It's the best way to live. Just très bien. A little bit of baguette. A little bit of chose. Bold early predictions? Dude, you're a pussy if you don't go in bold. Bold. Myriad, are you that type of person at the end of a Dota 2 game that you type GG's? Because if you are, we can't be friends. All right, I hate those people. I respect the person that types GGEs at the beginning and then smack talks throughout. You used to be when you're younger, you were a piece of crap. That's why we like you. You matured, all right? No. See, a toxic boy that I respect is the one that says it throughout, right? So I'm there spamming my laugh when I'm playing Dota 2, and I'm all chat typing and everything, right? And if I lose and I get the egg on my face, I accept it. What I don't accept is when the person on the other side just says GGEs after remaining quiet the whole time. That guy's a pussy, okay? If you're going to smack talk, you own it. Start to finish. All right? That's what we like about... That's why... Have you not noticed that's what you love about Kilyadi? Is the smack starts straight away. It's not just like excuses at the end. It's excuses throughout. Louis didn't pick China? Yeah, actually. It got banned, but wasn't picked. Wait, what? That's weird, right? Oh, it's global bans. That makes more sense then. Yeah. I was about to say, I was looking for the Ottoman pick. That makes much more sense. Oh, but yeah, because I'm not used to this. They're using the like old drafting style, right? So 8 civs each, only 1 ban each global. Gotcha. Wait, was it global bans? It wasn't global bans in the earlier rounds though, right? Like Core, your series wasn't global, I don't think. I think Louis won the draft anyway. He got Lancaster, Byzantines, Delhi. It's pretty good. Mongol situationally quite powerful. But there's a lot of water maps in rotation. So like VortiX got Knights Templar. Really, really good. French actually has some variants between land and sea. Also same for HRE. English is great for sea as well. Abbasids, a little bit of a variant pick on where you can put it. Malians is always pretty robust. Rus, I think Rus gets like overvalued still a lot at the moment. They're okay though. Like I think because the Knights Templar and Ibids actually, Ibids is kind of sick. I think Ibids is the big civ on the rise up. Like Knights Templar plus English feel close to auto wins on water maps. Like what does Louis have for water maps? He basically has Shushi Legacy. You can do Order of the Dragon as well. And there's actually in fairness, it's not too bad for Louis. Like he's gonna tank Holy Island, but it's the only water map. Like I just checked, there was bans on Archipelago and Kawasan. White House of Lancaster first pick because it's high priority for VortiX and it's a really good pick. Cliffside's in the rotation. Also, just it can apply on Dry Arabia. Hallowed Springs is going to be interesting, actually. I think I quite like Louis for something like a Delhi there. But French is also kind of interesting on Hallowed Spring as well. Could also be where VortiX is thinking about English, because you have to think Hallowed Spring a little bit like Himiyama, just bigger. Let me check if the boys are in the lobby now. I think they're hopping in a sec. Game number 1, the picks. It's going to be Jean versus Mali for Boldland. Yeah, pretty much what you would expect. I think we were either going to get Jean versus Mali or Jean versus French. But Malians has always felt, generally quite good on this map. Also, they're pretty good at denying pro scouts because a lot of civs struggle with the wide spread, but because you're using scouts to do so anyway, it's much easier for you. Whereas French and Jean struggle to block and defend everywhere, Here's the thing, Johan. Like, how is it you're a game dev? You make comments like that, and there's not enough of those type of puns in EU4. Come on, I expect that. When EU5 comes out, I just want it to be full of dad jokes, okay? Can you do that? You got, like, how long until it's out? Is it a month and a half? You've got enough time. Get to work. We have high expectations, my child. Are we going to play at launch, by the way, Johan? Huh? Do you secretly like us AoE people more, or are you just going to ditch me to play with the expected, like, EU people? Huh? Actually, I'm curious. Did I miss... Has there been any details on multiplayer publicly released yet, Johan, for EU5? Did I miss it? I'm excited to see how things change, because I feel like that was kind of Europa's weak point, right? It's like, I love Europa, but when it came to multiplayer, like, it didn't feel like it had anywhere near as much success, even remotely, as things like Hearts of Iron. Yo, what's up, Teach? Thank you very much for the sub, mate. Welcome back to Swarm. Remember, guys, get those subs in. Perfect time to do so. We're about to have a best of 7 ahead of us. I wouldn't want you to be stuck staring at adverts throughout all of these epic games that we're going to be guaranteed, right? Like, I feel like VortiX... I think VortiX favored, like, draft a little bit better to secure that free water map. And also performance-wise. Like, Louis, we just had him in the KPMM. Little bit of a weaker performance than I think we've been seeing from Louis in the past in KPMM. Or maybe it's just a case of everyone's stepping up. Either way, like, VortiX seems to be the boogeyman at the moment, based on recent tournaments. I was actually really surprised when Lucifer on 3-1'd him in the group stage of this tournament. Wait, why did you think Johan was with Creative Assembly? What? That's so much better. Whoa, dude. Why are we throwing shade at Creative Assembly? Okay, actually, there's plenty of good reasons. I feel like I don't know, man. Like, is there any element of being part of Creative Assembly that feels good right now? Maybe like the Warhammer team, you kind of feel good about yourself. I think if you're on the historical Total Wars, you're kind of hating life at the moment, though. Especially with, like, what happened with Pharaoh. It's kind of a shame, because I think I've heard that Pharaoh, like, they added more stuff, right? It kind of got a bit better, although the end game is, like, still a question mark. But when they launched it, it was like, what's the point in this? What's Paradox known for? My friend, you have missed out. They are known for grand strategy games. I think it'd be fair to say Paradox basically created the genre category grand strategy in a way that no one else had before. So Europa Universalis 4, you've got Hearts of Iron, well, U4, 3, 2, and 1 as well while you're at it. Victoria series, the, what's you got? You got the Stellaris, there's, I don't know why I've forgotten its name, the Kings one, oh my god. My brain. Crusader Kings, I don't know why I blanked Crusader Kings. And that's just the mainstays, right? They've had plenty of other small ones on the side. I don't know why I blanked Crusader Kings. In fairness, it's probably my least played one. I still haven't played 3. I played some 2 with friends, and I found it very funny. But I was like, this almost feels like a D&D session. I want to play this with friends. I remember Stellaris I had phenomenally high hopes for. But I remember I played it a lot at launch, and then I just kind of stopped. I've had a few games like that. Like, I was talking to the Ubisoft guys about Anno, right? Like, I played 1800 the crap out of it at launch. And they've supported it for years, and I never like, played past launch, weirdly enough. Dude, why are you so obsessed with my winks? Zwinkle? Could you keep... Where did the update AoE 4 not make AoE 5 come from? We're talking about EU 4 and 5, not AoE. This is the problem with half listening. We're talking about a completely different game. Although, to be honest, if you want very big changes, you should bank on an AoE 5, not AoE 4 continuous. It's just easier to convince big publishers to do it that way. One sec, just double checking some stuff in the background. We can do predictions, by the way. Let me... Oh my god. I have... This is annoying. I have everything set up a nice way. I always want to find some sort of sub-container for tabs on like the different applications. So, you know when you have a layout you like, so that it just sticks to that? Because sometimes you click something and then it brings it to the front. But I almost want a default reset option. I don't know if that's actually a thing. I've never looked. Because I have like browser in the back, then I've got like OBS, and then I've got chat on top. But if I click the browser, now everything's in the wrong order. So I need to find someone that fixes that. On what's up? I do see the TikTokers coming through. For some reason, it originally wasn't updating. Hello, Low One and all. Hope you're having a good time. So, a reminder, this is the $3,000 tournament, best of 7 grand finals. That's what we've been waiting for. The sub to get all DLCs for Stellaris? Yeah, I think it was a really smart move. Because, like, they were just, I think, and KJ would have the numbers, I think they were just losing people towards the end of EU4, where it's like, if you took a break, like, you had to spend so much to catch up sort of thing, right? So, yeah. And, like, you can't go the method of, like, let's just make everything from 2 years ago, 3 years ago free, because, like, when you do that, people then just change their mind and say, oh, I won't buy the DLC then, I'll just wait, because it's going to be free, you know? Fifth game in every series is always the worst. Isn't it the third one's always the worst? Right? Most people felt Total War Warhammer 3 was worse than 2. AoE 3 was worse than 2. Dawn of War 3 was definitely worse than 2. Company Heroes 3? Actually, I'd say that and 2 were kind of on par. Although 2 had that sick campaign. You guys remember the campaign for Company Heroes 2? Not the default one, the Ardennes Assault. That was really good. Dawn of War 3, Far Man, dude, I'm taking your mod away. I've tolerated a lot of shit from you. I will not tolerate that. If anyone ever comes in this chat and says Dawn of War 3 was actually good, I think we just ban them. It's literally one of the worst RTSs that has ever been conceived. Oh, damn, you're right, Johan. Yeah, dude, okay, I take it back. Hom 3 was definitely better than 2. I only played a little bit of 2, though. Like, there's some people who actually think 2 was much better. Yeah, but let's put... No, dude. You don't to me. I'm doing Hunio Hunt now. What do you think? Was EU2 better than EU3? Oh, yes. Go burn some bridges, you piece of shit. All right. Let's get ready to roll. See, have we got this team? Yeah. It's that time. Grand finals upon us in the $3,000 EWC tournament for Age of Empires 4. And we are rocking it with a European Chinese showdown. VortiX up against LoueMT. One best of 7 to decide who is the champ going in to the upcoming S-tier tournament. This would be quite the statement to make because the monster that is VortiX has been taking over the moment has been looking nigh on unbeatable. Anything he touches seems to turn to gold. So let's see if he can take the civil about gold to turn it into a big thumbs up to kick off this series. Yeah, especially considering his draft. We were talking a little bit about it earlier. Like when you look at it, when you think about the fact that he's got the Knights Templar, it feels like it's almost going to be a default win for him in that game, right? So that's a really worrisome detail, actually, for LoueMT. Is like, I don't think you can really afford to be a game down at the beginning here. Oh, wait, music on the other screens? Whoops. I thought we muted the music the whole time. All sorted. It's because I've set up half of the TikTok transition screens, because for those who don't know, you stream vertical and horizontal at the same time. And I linked half the scenes, and then there's extra scenes I've forgotten to link. So what is going to be happening in this matchup? Because I have seen some players deviating away from Pro Scout play just to try and be more aggressive, right? I think B has been one of the leads for this. He's obsessed with just getting these no Pro Scout builds going. Even if it's not the meta, he's trying to find the next step beyond it. Maybe in anticipation of a nerf. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Pro Scouts get altered again. But in this matchup, you know, Jean, normally you're going to be seeing 3 Scouts on Pro Scout play. You've already got Wheelbarrow. You've got Jean gathering out on the berries here. The gold count, with the food ratios, it actually kind of doesn't look like the macro you'd expect for Pro Scouts. Actually looks like instead he's probably thinking about going for a night opening, which I'd be all for. And there you go, Farm Man. Make yourself useful. Get some predictions up. Thank you. Lance on the other side. Yeah, spawn-wise, I mean, this is a pretty good one, right? You got back gold, a lot of berries in the corner. You don't want to have to go for them, but it's a nice backup plan. For Louis, he also got the retracted gold, so no player getting screwed over by the spawns here, necessarily. Yeah, options to work with. Skull Cavalry coming in, which is to be expected. This is not really a map where you Chamber of Commerce. The trade posts are a little bit too close to the center to make it viable. Like, actually, Caillou intentionally designed them on this map with the idea that, like, if you're going to trade, it's probably because you ran out of gold elsewhere, which is really how it should be, if we're being totally fair. And there we go. Predictions up. Get him in quick. Thank you, Farm Man. Opening-wise for VortiX, probably going to be Donzos. Donzos into Pro Scouts could make a lot of sense here. Especially considering just how much gold you organically build up now for the Pit Mine and the Mancer for that type of timing. An interesting way that Louis done this, right? So he walked out, built the house, built the mill, stayed here for the berries, and then turns around with Jean with already in position for the School of Cavalry. That's a pretty cool optimization just to make sure you've got enough room later on to slap farms in between the landmarks. I quite like that. And what's the sheep count look like? Oh, that's not too bad, actually. He got, what, 13 sheep? 11 on the other side. So no overwhelming advantage here. VortiX actually is going to snatch... Okay, I take that back. An advantage here. Yeah, so it ends up being 13 sheep to, what, 14? I'm struggling to tell because they still have this UI bug where Jean's... like, the UI shows up with multiple Jeans for the dead sheep. Age up complete. And straight into Pro Scout. So that's curious. LoueMT, I thought that he'd be going night beginning. He actually just full greeds. So he's going to turn this into a full race. Why would he do this over an opening night? The knight's really powerful, but I think what he's valuing more is this. The knight may be powerful, but what's even more powerful is the expectation of a knight in the mind of your opponent, right? It's the mind games of it. It's like your opponent looks like, ah, crap. I need to have spears. When in actuality, there's no reason to have spearmen straight away here. Imagine Louis probably just be looking to bloat a lot of scouts with this type of opening then. All the eco techs to follow as well. You know, normally when you watch Jean or French, they stop at 3 to 4 scouts maximum. The idea being you have good map control consistently, so you don't need to rush it. You just need to make sure you've got a constant flow of food coming back to your base. But with this type of opening, I think we might just see Louis go the full greed. And it's the type of map that you can get away with that on because your opponent's gone Donzos and he has 4 different locations he has to guard. He can't cover that. It's not realistic. And even more so when you consider the Jean threat. Like, you know, a lot of times when you play this map, you'll see people split spears north and south just to guard. If you do that, you're just forfeiting XP over to Jean. So it's a really bad idea. Louis, next up, it's going to be straight into archers. Could you imagine if we have a no French Knights Jean game? No, dude, that... I mean, we just had a no manners Lancaster game, but it was on water in fairness. A Warrior Scout's an option here. Warrior Scouts are pretty good. That's meant to be the way you play into Pro Scouts with Malians typically. But he's so worried about the Knight threat, right? That he's not just straight up going into them. Because remember, the Warrior Scouts are just stronger scouts. Move faster as well. And then it sets you up quite nicely into Pro Scouts, which is easily attainable because of how much gold you get. But instead, looks like VortiX is just going to be steering into the ranches. Learns quickly he's going to need archers, though. So Javelin's soon to be on the way. I don't think he wants to hard commit. Like, it's really tricky when you play a long feudal against Jean, just because of the inevitable XP sling. You don't want to be feeding her over, right? Which is why most players seek safety in castle. Bumba. Didn't get the memo. You don't want to fight this girl. How do you guys predict? Let's have a look. 73% for VortiX. I mean, I know I hyped him up as looking pretty strong at the moment, but I wasn't quite expecting that much bias on the scoring. Especially after this opening. Like, Louis getting all the map, really. Louis top 2. Does anyone want to tell him about recent results? I would be very careful to throw out top 2 statements with Louis' performance in the last few weeks. It may be that he's hiding something secretive. He did look very good against B in the third place for our KPMM, but he actually lost to WAM 3-0. And even when you just look at this event, the Opposers World Cup, Louis, he ended up hemorrhaging a game hero there. I think it was 3-1 against B and then 4-1 against Lucifer. But the more impressive thing to me is Marine Law getting 3-1 by VortiX. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not like I can see the fault, like Louis being top 2 for sure. I mean, he's here top 2 now, right? I think we need to see some consistency. Convince. And this series, I think, will be very telling to a lot of people. You have to remember, we've got the EGC Masters Falls coming up. Louis already qualified to the event. This could be a figure statement on his performance, on his shape going into that event. Especially after missing out on the last major event. I mean, Louis Master of Steel was at 4th place, I believe. Ended up going down and out against Marine Lord 4-0 and then getting 3-2'd by WAM. Since then, a little bit quieter, actually. I remember that event happened and then Louis, you know, he didn't immediately start signing up to KPMMs. In fact, he came back last week. I think he took a break this week, if I'm not mistaken. Louis. Now starting to circle like a shark. He's got those knights creeping in the back. VortiX doesn't see a thing. That wood line is getting a bit too trim, a bit too thin. Might be an opening, an opportunity. The problem is, VortiX got good attention. It's not like he's not going to notice, right? There you go. Pulls away. Does forget about the miner, though. Rest able to dodge. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, when you're talking about players at this caliber, it's very difficult to get those type of raid connects unless you do something else as well. So, for example, if Louis is on the front of the base, when he makes that dive on the back, you have a situation where VortiX might not realize what's happening. That's when you'll see a killing blow of 5, 6, 7 workers that becomes feasible. But when you go in one by one like this, especially against a player of VortiX's caliber, yeah, he may be an old man. He's getting on a bit, but let's give this man some credit. The reactions haven't gone yet. What will get impressive, though, is when we get into the mid and late game. Louis, it's interesting, right? Like, when you get him into the late game, it's almost like a Lucifer of the mid game, if that makes sense. Right? You guys get where I'm going with that? It's, if you've ever watched Louis in the way he raids, very impactful, but also very optimal. Doesn't tend to overdo it. It's not one of those players that just selects 30 units and sends them in a direction. He loves to try and just sneak just the right amount in from each angle. By the way, guys, if you do enjoy Borderlands, you're going to like this week of KPMM. It's the default map. Donzo count's looking pretty good for VortiX. I think you're confident to just age up now. Yeah, I mean, the cows are already full as well. It's a really good timing. Louis does have military lead, but I think you can't really dive here unless you're already up in your opponent's face. Because if he takes up, it only takes him 30 seconds to get those veterancies, remember. That's really quick. It doesn't leave much breathing room for an attack at all. It doesn't look like Louis is going to sense it either. Grand Filani. Even if he knew the exact time, it's just still such a big risk. Louis. Should be a guild hall coming in soon. So this is going to give a tempo point for VortiX to try and manipulate. He's got walls coming up now. That's going to allow him to start breaking out of the base. Castle's really where Marlians can start to shine a little bit in this matchup. But you are a little bit on the clock. Right, Fulani gives you a huge surge in terms of efficiency and value, but not Guild Hall. All right, scrap what I said entirely, because Louis is not going for Guild Hall. Normally, that clock starts ticking because Guild Hall, right? Because of the food accruing, you know that Jean will get towards Imperial. Not this game. No, Royal Institute. So I think Louis may be trying to use the preconceived notion that this is going to be Guild Hall clock starts now to make VortiX rush with some urgency. It's a ballsy idea, actually. Like, if you wait until you're at 25 plus nights for the Royal Bloodlines to come in, you can catch your opponent off guard here. I'm very surprised by this. We just don't really see Royal Institute games anymore. You know, a lot of people just shied away from them because it truly puts you on the clock, right? It's like, hey, you know, we've got all our advantages now, so we need to win. Can we win now? And if you fail that one fight, it just feels like the game is over. Whereas Guild Hall has always been that get out of jail free card when things don't look as good as they should have been. Royal Bloodline's already queued up. Veterancy as well. VortiX, Sofa, already starting to come. Port armors as well. And he's also looking for the relics, which I don't think Louis is doing. Nah, it's kind of rare for Louis. Like, historically, this is a guy that loved the double monastery builds. Knight, jump in. Good block there. That was nicely done by VortiX. Still loses a worker, but the Sofa got in the way to make sure the other Knight Lancers didn't connect. That was a sick little micro. You can see how uncomfortably close that got. I'm kind of shocked, actually, he was allowed to get that close unnoticed. We'll just chase him all the way away now. VortiX also moves the troops upfield. Does he think that's all the Knights? It's kind of weird, actually. Like, he sent his javelins forward unguarded. If he only knew, like, if Louis only knew right now, he could jump in and kill all of these. Knights are going to creep in again. Oh, this is where things get a bit weird for VortiX. His army is discombobulated. It's all over the place. Trying to regroup. Donzos are dodging the deaths, though. Sorry, Knights are dodging the Donzos. He's steering with jabs. Like, he is reaching the enemy base, but he's put in a weird position where he's just kind of trying to ferry the knights away. He's going to get back on course now. Diving hasn't connected for any additional worker kills. Louis not able to do any real damage here. Now it's Vortex's turn. Jumps in. This is a great start, actually. Finding these stables, these consecrated stables. Remember, that gives the discounts, but consecrations are limited. Technically, you can get an infinite number of them, but you have to wait for infinite time for that to occur, right? Like, it's every X minutes Jean is able to consecrate another building. So, it does impact his ability to keep pumping knights, and that's really important, actually, when you consider that this is a Royal Institute all-in. Some of that, I believe, was seen. He reached here. I think he would have actually glimpsed the Royal Institute with the scout there, or barely missed it. Knights now headbutting into Mastonzo so far. Javelins at the back, though, to be accessed. Only a few knights ripple round there. Sofa now arriving. Second wave of Donzo's coming. Louis, he's been hesitant. He's been looking for that mistake that VortiX would make, but it doesn't seem to be coming. No, instead, now LoueMT pinned in his base with mass knights. Royal Institute will make you hard to kill, sure. The value of knights isn't in standing still, right? Like, they can do that quite well, actually. But you get the most value when you're able to dictate flow across the map. Another? No, he can't give another one. He has to. Another stables consecration taken away. Louis still only level 2 Jean. Over 100 XP away, but can get it fast in a fight like this. Notice the way she stands her ground at the back. Does not even move, no. This many units could just snipe her instantly. Doesn't want to risk it. Instead, he'll take the easy cruise up to level 3. Activates. Engagement underway, though, and VortiX heavily favored on the count for now. But these are Royal Bloodline Knights. In theory, if anything could do it. Divine Restoration pump just to make sure he's able to last. The spear line is thinning, yes. Louis will get a stay of execution, but a heavy hit in his tempo. He had to sack the majority of his Knight mass just to survive this. Just the body count down here. He's got another 10 in queue, which is great to see, but the food numbers are starting to shrink, right? Louis, he's running out of Pro Scout gear, I think. Okay, no, he's got like 3 or 4 left at least. There may still be hope. Jean can now start to reap a lot of XP. Jean herself. Oh, dear. So she goes down. Louis realizes the arrow will back away now. Yeah, I think Louis, like, he done what was necessary to stay alive, right? The sad part for him is that, you know, because of the value of the army, it's not like he actually got an insane amount of XP out of that. I guess you could say compared to where he's at, getting 500 XP is good, but without having this huge bloated economy, it's very hard to say, oh, I get 500 XP, I'll get another 500 XP, another 500 XP. All right, those type of fights, they don't happen sequentially 1 minute apart at this stage in the game. VortiX. He's still adding in jabs. He doesn't realize. I mean, Louis, he's adding in a few archers, but he isn't bloating it like crazy. And like for VortiX, it's actually more important just to get a lot more spears. I think his problem here is he might be thinking that Pro Scouts has ran out. Or is close to running out. So in his mind, he couldn't envision a world in which Louis gets, you know, 40 knights just like that. All right, that should be very hard for him in theory. But remember, there's still a few deer left. Relics also favoring Louis. 3-2 split. And Louis just creeping around that back again. Yeah, it's still not a full wall from VortiX, despite the fact he's up against Mass Knights. Whew. How do you address this? What is the plan for Louis? You know, because usually when you play Royal Institute like this, there's not as much value left in Imperial for you, so it feels like you need to do something big. So for just trying to poke around, but So far, no additional worker losses. Jean, now up to 644 XP, has got companion equipment coming in to bulk her up further. And he's, wait a sec, he's actively producing champions. What? Oh, that's sick. With the consecration, these actually become decent on cost. 150 resources for a very tanky man-at-arms. It's a good solution to the Donzo, but the problem I have with champions here is it's very slow, and if it gets seen, it can get hard counted by Musafadi. It's someone to be mindful of, right? Remember, this unit, it gets bonus specifically against spearmen. A lot of bonus, actually. 13 base, plus an extra 8 when attacking a spear. Bloody potent. This is sick. Does Louis have the time for it, though? You know, it's double racks. Like, this is the other thing. It's not even double consecration, so it's still quite pricey on this one. Like, over here, you can see he's paying a lofty 200 resources per champion. And so far, they find the workers. LoueMT tries to vacate the area. A few going down, though, surely. Formation shot. Come on. Okay, no one can defend this. That's not okay. That is not okay. That is a 1.73 movement speed unit. And that villager was out running it the whole time. Gets the 2 worker kills. It's going to cost him a pretty count on the sofa, though. LoueMT just shenanigans afoot. He dances around. But loses the sofa raiders. A big chunk of them, in fact. Breath of relief for Louis, who's just still trying to reach that critical bulk, right? Up to 34 knights now, starting to look good. A keep drop from Louis? Should be full the gold and the wood. Remember, with Jean, you don't have to build a castle on your base. You don't get discounts that way. It's redundant. So just stake a claim. Drop now coming in. Yeah, and VortiX seems none the wiser about it. He's steering north towards the sacred site, so it seems very unlikely he's going to be able to scout this. I love the paranoia from Louis. Just sticks the scout ahead of it all, so he'll get the earliest warning possible. Moving over towards the sacred site. Not too far away. VortiX senses it. He sees it. It's moving over now. Reveal comes through. It's only half complete. Archers nearby, but not many of them. The knights, they actually steered far away. So Clash is going to come in. But remember, guys, the champions are so good here. Against Donzo Javelin, they don't die fast. This is the perfect situation. The sofa were late to arrive. They jump across on the villages now. But it's too little, too late. LoueMT gets the castle up. And now the knights coming in for the smash. The Donzos, they got dragged afar. Louis, the type of fight that he needed to stand a chance here, he's going to get. Can't hang around too long, though. This many Donzos is scary. What might become even more scarier, though, is level 4 Jean. Essentially one big fight away now. And the champions play, man. It's sick. VortiX doesn't even seem to have reacted to it yet, or doesn't feel like he can. You know, the reaction, guys, is Musafadi. When you see the champions, you build Musafadi. He's not doing it. And can we maybe start to take those champions seriously? Like, you guys saw them in that fight, right? There's about 10 of them. They stood their ground for so long. 210 HP. The extra armor. Extra health. Damage is pretty good. What's not to love? Sofas are indeed good into champions. But like, if you think about this right now, your opponent doesn't have any archers, really. Like, Musafadi are pretty cheap as a solution. So it's like, yeah, you can build Sofa, but how many champions, like, how many Musafadi warriors do you get instead of Sofas, right? Like, Musafadi warriors are 75 resources compared to 180. So you bulk a lot. What is up, Mr. Demost? Thank you very much for the Prime sub, mate. Appreciate it. Remember, guys, get those Prime subs in. Perfect time. Because this feels like the type of series that could get us the full 7. This game 1 hasn't just been a roll over and die. Louis, village is not quick enough to repair the wall. Siege Workshop coming in. Now, Louis, he's a big fan of these siege switches with the consecrations. Remember, Jean, once you reach Castle Age, you get a tech that lets you discount not just the food costs, discount all the costs, right? So siege becomes incredibly affordable. I don't think we actually have that tech yet. Okay, yeah, we do. You can see it because the knights only cost 180. That's the other crazy thing about Jean. She makes knights cost the same as Sofa. Size of this Donzo mass. I think Louis has the right idea with Springolds. Unfortunately for him, VortiX has done a good job of actually keeping some range comp here. Archers and the javelins. And there's the consecration. Look at the cost. It's a pretty good deal. You're barely paying more for this than you pay for a sofa. Springolds costing you, what, 187 resources instead of 250? Siege begins. VortiX with his own siege workshop. Looks for the dive. Knights are somewhat displaced. Might be a struggle to hold this area. Torch on the front outpost. VortiX doesn't find the easy kills, though. No, he's been testing onto the units themselves. Bit of a, I want to say, pointless dive there, right? Like, he didn't get anything. Louis gets a bit more XP. Only 400 XP away now from Mecha Jean. Remember, she gets that attack speed buffer. It's a full game changer. Yeah, especially for these champions into mass spears. Champions that just still feel essentially uncounted. Flash now coming in. Sofa leaking around the back. They're looking for the Springles to counterplay them. And Louis, he has no troops left over to defend them. No, so Siege is going to go down. Divine Restoration does get pumped. And Jean de Blast makes sure everyone pumps now. Attack speed up across the board as LoueMT has already cleared the only answer to his mass knights. The Donzos are gone. That's it. LoueMT. It's been a while, but he just gave us a firm reminder why John Dark is his Civ for the late game. Oh, man. What an amazing opening game. I mean, you can't really ask more than that. That was phenomenally well played. John's champions. That was that was one of the best usages of John champions I've seen. Roland's 2 on JD is underrated. True, but like it's because people like backup plans, right? But the champions, I think the champions like the subtle undertone there, right? They bog down a lot of the Donzos while also actively killing them at a decent pace. All right, let's get ready for the next game. So let me get one up on the board. Reminder, best of 7, so we've still got some ways to go in this one. A great opening win, and really a necessary one when you remember what we said about the draft. Like, the draft is a little bit worrisome for him otherwise. Looks like VortiX understands the snowball effect well of these type of series, so he's going to be taking advantage of that Knights Templar. Yeah, Knights Templar versus Japan for game 2 on Holy Island. There's something I was going to do. I totally forgot. Oh, that's right. I need to link additional scenes. Maybe I'll just do it later. All right. Here we go. Do we have it set up the right... We do. I don't feel like there's many default wins in AoE4 these days. We've done a good job of balancing that, but this is probably one of them. Welcome back to the channel, folks. It's Knights Templar on a map that features water. Do I need to say more to you? Not only that, but it's in the hands of one of the best players in Age of Empires 4, the one, that beat Marine Lord in this very tournament. That's right. Welcome back to the channel. Game number 2. In the red, it is going to be Knights Templar for VortiX as he looks to balance the points out. LoueMT, a phenomenal game 1 win with his Jeanne d'Arc pick. He now thrusts Japan into the warpath of Knights Templar. A civ that many have been quoted as calling completely broken on water. Yes, this civ is quite le boogeyman. It's a tough one, guys. The problem you have to keep in mind is like the wood gathering rate is just insane on the civ. So for those wondering why is Knights Templar seen as an auto win on water maps, it is genuinely the wood. Landscape preservation means that you never use a lumber camp. It means that you get your hands on food while gathering wood. It means you don't waste time walking back and forth dropping off resources either, which gives you a great escalation into fishing. Much better than any other civ can compete with. It's what makes these guys the bullies that they've become known to be on maps like Holy Island, Archipelago, and so on. Louis, he's gone for the former beast, right? It used to be Japan was actually the scary boogeyman. Do you guys remember? Japan and Shushi actually dominated Holy Island before Knights Templar arrived, so it's definitely not a terrible pick per se. I do wonder if it would have been better for him to just do a throwaway pick, though. I mean, LoueMT, he got some really good picks in his draft, right? He got access to House of Lancaster, Byzantine, Shushi, Delhi. So I guess, you could argue there's not many throwaway picks. He could have tried Mongols or Order of the Dragon here. Would have been quite interesting. Order of the Dragon in particular would have been kind of curious to see. Maybe just a land focus. Just try to rush him, shut him down. I wonder what we're going to get for the opening age. There's been a lot of players that have been moving towards Hospitaller for the Knights Templar. But when you consider how easy it is to kind of sneak in a knight here or there on this map, I wouldn't be surprised to see Chevalier. It just gives you a nice little bit of organic value on land, right? Only one knight, you can do a lot. Ninjas versus hospitals incoming. Oh, could you imagine? I mean, presumably he's going to be doing Coca, right? But I think Coca encourages French is the problem. If it was Kura and you knew it was going to be Kura, I think you Hospitaller. But because it should be the Shinobi, you kind of need the Chevalier to snipe them. Fishing camp. How are we looking? 3 on one side, 4 on the other. Second dock already set up, though. So you're already seeing a point where VortiX is going to be inflating quicker. Right? You can see in the wood income, actually. An extra 100 wood, basically. That's got a few more woodworkers there, but that's the beauty of playing Knights Templar. He doesn't need as many people on food because these woodworkers also give food. Ninjas kill plastic horses? Oh, the idea, though, is that you don't just A-click into them. You charge into them and then move away. So, yeah, the thing I always remind people is, when you hear these things like, oh, yeah, 8 spearmen or 10 spearmen beat an elephant. And you're like, yeah, okay, show me that. And then they show you, and it's just like, it's a little feature piece where they A-click into each other. Okay, fair enough. But how many high-level players do you know that fight like that, right? So that's the thing to keep in mind here is, the Shinobi actually can get ran down by Chevalier quite nicely if you kite them and charge them. And the idea is that the Chevalier have a lot more flex to kill villagers than the Shinobi should anyway. Where Shinobi get their real values towards these docks if they can start intercepting and sabotaging. Shinobi it is, folks. Coca Township on the way. How did we do on predictions? 71% for VortiX. That's pretty impressive. Because last game, you guys decided to put 79% of your votes on Malians to win for VortiX, and they didn't. I'm starting to think it's not me that has the caster curse. I think you guys might have the caster curse. This will be the truest test of your powers. There we go. French commandery is on the way. It just makes too much sense not to. Shinobi already queued up, as are additionals here for Louis. I love that he's just whittling away at this villager. The idea is the scout doesn't really have anything else to do right now in VortiX's mind. So he'd rather get this villager so low that something else kills it, or the more important thing is eventually Louis, who needs more docks, he hasn't built more docks, will now have to pull this villager home and pull another one out to build a dock. That's really annoying and really inefficient. There is an argument that he should really be scouting the Shinobi, but because Knights Templar are so quick on the tech up, he's not worried, right? He's got an archer ship queued up, coming out in 15 seconds. The Shinobi cannot realistically reach quick enough. VortiX just going to go over and scout now, so it actually does stop attacking the work for now. Bold to keep the villager here, but like with the archer ship, if he camps it, it's not too bad. Shinobi is creeping in. VortiX does see it though. Yeah, not going to be given over a freebie like that, but it does mean your villager is now stuck here until knights come out. And he has the correct response. Double Chevalier. Don't do one. Like, if you do one, you're going to lose. Right? That's where you can actually kind of get outplayed, especially with being double Shinobi. You're definitely paying more than what the Shinobi costs, sure, but it's worth it. And there's that initial strike we talked about, right? 21 damage. 14 afterwards, not as impressive. LoueMT reluctant to engage at all, though. Just keeps taking hits. Pilgrims. Oh, wait, what? VortiX maybe a little bit overzealous here. Yeah, then again, with the second Chevalier arriving, because Louis didn't realize it straight away, this actually should work out perfectly. Pilgrim gets through. On top of that, VortiX is already the one squaring up on water for good reason now, because he needs to protect that boat. Body blocks from Louis. Good idea there. Just trying to stop the second lance charge from connecting. Does buy time for him to back away. So, given a bit of breathing room now, the Shinobi will heal up. They will return to full. Pilgrim transforms into boat. It's a boat. I don't know what else you guys thought was going to happen. Were you like expecting a jet fighter? Maybe a monster truck? They become a boat. It's so nice with spawns like this. You're like, oh, I'm already there. Like, why even have to unpack? Yeah, just cha-ching. VortiX in the gold. LoueMT now with the second outpost coming up, just going for castle. Correct call. There's just nothing else for him here. You don't want to play along water. That just feels like an L. You expecting a Lapras? Dude, it's got to be a Blastoise. Actually, what's the most, like, unarmed and useless water Pokemon you can think of? Shuckle is a rock, right? I don't think he's water type as well. Is he water type as well? Oh, yeah, Magikarp. How did I forget about Magikarp? Oh, the obvious one, dude. Oh, my God. It was so out of my brain for some reason. Actually, you guys are wrong. All right, because Magikarps are like elephants. They've got memories. Once they become a Gyarados, they'll remember. What's a Shuckle going to do? Stick in his rock forever? Ooh. I don't think Shuckle's a water type, though. I think they just rock. Yeah, it's bug rock. Damn. Demo! Oh, no. It's already going wrong. They dive into the base as well. He caught him on the landmark. VortiX with the perfect 1-2 strike. He's now going to take some losses himself. The fishing boats already struggling because of this. What a remarkable hit for VortiX. Up on military, up on economy, up on everything. Nothing really left of Louis. His economy a husk, right? Only 3 fishing boats, nothing extra. We knew he didn't really want a hard commit when he didn't go for an attempt at a second dock. So we knew it was this land play, but this land play has still not completed. The Shinobi, they're doing their best to defend it, but there's only 2 of them. Luckily for Louis, VortiX did skimp on getting under mesh. Without the extra armor, very difficult to dive. Job now complete. But I'm just going to say what we're all thinking. Whoopity freaking doodah, what now? Like, what does this do for you? What is the value? What is the point, almost, it feels like? Definitely not like a good look on him. KT S++ watertive. Yeah, the funny thing is, like, weren't there some people recently were saying, like, KT's not that good on water? And I remember, I can't remember who it was. Someone, like, a pro said that. And I was like, okay. I had to check him over. I was like, is there a bump on your head? Like, surely not. Surely you're not suggesting that this Civ is anything but giga busted. And now the wall in. I love the way it just encompasses everything but the TC. It's such a weird wall. Yeah, because if he didn't block himself houses here, he could just protect his economy by walling like this. Like that's guys, that's actually all he needs. Like, even here, actually, he can still do it because the thing is, you don't need room for a lumber camp, and that was nightmare fuel waiting to happen, guys. Angevin Empire just bust this one wide open. Louis won't be able to rely on Mount Samurai against Angevin Empire. Not with fishing economy. Like, fishing economy that's already at 17 boats. Maybe an Onimusha switch? I think he might be getting baited, actually. Yeah, VortiX, he's been building Spearmen, right? So, like, Louis' mindset is, makes sense. I need to kill the Spearmen. So, like, Mount Samurai plus Yumi. Let's go. But the bait of that is your opponent just starts adding in armored Spearmen. It's like, you kind of had the right idea. Like, you are up against spears. Just not up against the ones you thought you were going to be up against. Maybe he's just smart about this and swings Onimusha instead. That's expensive, man. I mean, I wouldn't want to be someone living in his kingdom with this type of economy. Nope. Because I know I wouldn't be eating at the end of the week. Little chip raid in. Add it onto the tab, mate. Mad Samurai now just trying to stab through, but Veteran C on the way for the Spearmen. More of these heavy spears being queued up. Louis quickly backs away. Has at least got the Shintos moving out, so this is good. He can play for relic advantage. Now, the thing is, like, although it's a water win for Knights Templar, I will say this about it. It isn't, like, an instantaneous win, you know? Like, that's the cool thing about Holy Island these days. There's a lot of matchups where you lose water, you don't just lose game. But, at the same time, I can't help but feel like I'm deluding myself because it's Knights Templar specific. I tried, guys. I tried so hard. Now there's a dock up. So he's setting up the second fishing. All right, this is where disaster begins to strike, man. We're going to be talking about 34 fishing boats for VortiX. How do you compete with that food income? Really? Is he about to realize the futility? It's already a pretty big army. It's only going to get a lot bigger than this. Oh, yes. Sorry, I'll update the title on YouTube. I see why it was wrong. Because we had to use some from a different day. I just don't know how Louis ever meant to get in. Like, for VortiX, as long as he has water, he could just sit. Woof, right? Like, but he's not going to sit idly. He's gathering the stone. You know, food is nice, but you know what goes nice with food? Gold. You ever had, like, one of those nice big beef steaks? You're like, this needs to have giant foiled gold on it. No, you haven't ever said that because it's the stupidest thing to ever do with beef. But in this situation, it's acceptable. He's going to have so much gold trickling in. Louis is at least winning the relic game, but, like, it's not going to hold a candle to pilgrims. And yeah, reminder, KT can't trade even on docks, actually. But they're tradies, pilgrims. Like, it's same old, same old. In some ways, better. And pretty nice on a civ that doesn't really need anything but gold anyway for certain comps in the late game. Like, you guys have remember the Venetians, right? Whew. The Condottiero. Pretty sick. Not sure if I'd rate them here against Japan specifically. If you're worried about Hankan and Nashigaru. But that is, of course, assuming we get to that point. This looks doomed to be done already. It's 13 heavy spears mixed in there. LoueMT forced to form the lines. Those lines looking to quickly break here. Does at least win out against the Knights on the north side. But the heavy spearmen are just swarming him from the south. Louis just gathering on the front line at this stage. I mean, archers, yeah, they switch fire. Mount Samurai are going to dive in and try and clear those out. Village is now pushed off of the only food he can really rely on right now. There's just more and more Angevin spears come in. There you have it, folks. Proof that you can only win a crusade when the Angevins are involved. Thank you very much. Why does this civ do these things? Why? All right, so quick even up from VortiX. I mean, that is his free win out of the way, right? So, like, still, very good position for Louis to be in, considering he won that first game. And now he just sacked himself in the second, right? I say sacked himself because he did when it came to the fact Knights Templars just dead from the get-go, right? So, overall, the expected outcome. I think my big surprise, as I said at the time, is the fact he used Japan. Like, maybe there was a better throwaway civ there. Maybe something like Order of the Dragon is less valuable in the draft. So you just toss that out and just get rid of it. Let's see what we're going to be getting next. So next up. And yes, best of 7. Hence, they have picked 8 civs. Next up's Dry Arabia. HRE versus Delhi for game number 3. Okay. I mean, Delhi feel pretty good these days in this matchup, right? There was a time where HRE lamowed them out of the game, but that was a long time ago. Got 3 minutes until we're in game. That's enough time for me to actually quickly fix that other scene, isn't it? Yes, it is, KP. Vertical scenes, I wanted to... Because we had this set up where it was... Display cap? No. Is it this one? Wasn't that one? That one, wasn't it? Yes. That needs to be full cam with tournament. And then tourney draft. That's the one. Hey, which one was tourney draft? Tourney draft is... Oh my god, dude. I'm trying to remember. Full cam draft. Seriously, I've really got to rename everything more coherently, but I just can't be asked at this point. It's never happening. Lamau. Okay, so now we should be good with that. Haven't done casting 20. That's the other one I need to do. Nice. Okay, so that should now... So if I do this... Perfect. I've updated all scenes. Woohoo! Yeah, it's I was just updating the TikTok side because some of the scenes... Has anyone actually checked out the TikTok view we created for in-game, by the way? Let me know what you think. I think we've done a good job of essentially like getting all the core information of an RTS into a vertical view. And yeah, we should be getting Gamma set up in a second. I'm sure I have a mod around to do that. So it's me with one less task while we juggle everything else. What's happening in TI, by the way? Grand Finals, Team Falcons versus Extreme Gaming. Yeah, so pretty much the expected. I like how Team Falcons has just been inspired by EG with the buy all the best people thing, but it's actually working. Whereas when EG tried it, it was very, very mixed results. It's like, oh no, bankruptcy. All right, 1 second. Is Farmman doing the gamble or do I need to? Not in CS, that's true. Not in CS. But like other game, like Dota 2 has worked out pretty well. Dota 2, it seems to have, I don't know, kind of, hit it out of the park. Not bad, not bad. Although I do feel bad for the Gaming Gladiator guys, man. I don't know, they would have been fierce competitors for it for sure. All right, you guys ready? Ready to hype it up? Let's get big. Let's get large. Let's get in charge. Because it's time to see who's going to be in charge of this series. Best of 7 grand finals here at EWC. VortiX in the red as HRE. LoueMT as the Deli. And currently, this is scoring 1-1. That's right. This will be to break the tie between the two. LoueMT with the Deli. Got to be loving life, actually. HRE, I think they've kind of been taking the L's for a while here with the way that Delhi play around Ghazi these days. But there is hope. I think HRE is getting quite innovative. We've seen, for example, the Mindwork builds have just been kind of creeping in, taking over. I wonder if maybe VortiX sees any value in that. I mean, looking at his spawn here, it's actually not a bad idea to go Mindwork, right? Because your good Archon is out of TC range. But I have a feeling this is Pro Scouts. Like, when I look at his spawn, I'm kind of worried there's, like, no easy way of playing Mindwork because your village is going to be exposed against Ghazi. And all your deer being forward like this, with the trees being back, like, I mean, Archon into Pro Scouts definitely does make a lot of sense here. Feels like it is going to slow down your timing, and I think that's the scary thing. Like, most people hate playing against Delhi because it just feels like out of the gate, they come out swinging so fast, and it's always been due to the ridiculous production rates they get at the very beginning. Looking at the spawn for Louis. Pretty open and exposed, but a lot of north-facing food. Deer go to the south. This is nice, right? You can move your eco out north, and then you can pro scouts to the south side. Plus, both of his deers are pretty close together here, near the sacred sites as well, so it's kind of a defendable area if VortiX does try for PS. And even his boar is much better than VortiX. It's kind of like more subtly hidden and embedded towards the trees. Whereas VortiX is like, oh, dude, if you want to play for this, you hate life. He didn't really get a jackpot, right? The jackpot would have been the boar on top of the deer, and then you could just outpost for all. There you go. Archon coming in behind. And he's going to keep, what, 3 on the gold? Usually, like, Archon, I feel like Archon these days, you see it, it's probably like 80% you're going pro scouts. Otherwise, the Mindwork time is just so good, especially against Delhi, right? Because it allows you to mirror their blacksmiths advantages. Actually, it allows you to beat them on blacksmiths, which is no small feat. A difficult task for most civs. Dez's not going to eat that ball, but that's the point, right? It's like, it's so frustrating for VortiX because his opponent who can't eat the ball got the much better ball, right? Like, if you're VortiX, you can't pull the ball towards this tree line and wall it. That's not advantageous, right? But, like, Louis could have if he was a civ that could. Whereas VortiX's ball is just out there. Like, hey. It's just standing there going, eat me. I dare you. Someone else will avenge me. How did we do on the sheep game? Not crazy. 10 sheep to 14. That's actually decent for VortiX, considering he would have been buffing the gathering rate in the meantime, right? So he's been eating quite a lot of sheep at this stage. And there you go. There's your confirmation in. Mill coming down. If you're going to wheelbarrow, you would have wheelbarrowed much sooner, because you already have the gold for that. So this looks like just perfect macro into Pro Scouts. Presumably, he's going to be looking to get Pro Scouts before Stables with this type of build. Yeah, I think maybe he's a little bit worried that if he delays Pro Scouts, it gives time for Delhi's Ghazi to intercept. So he just wants to be out of Danger Town as quickly as possible. Louis done with Faith. to complete in a few moments here. He's got to be suspecting pro scouts, right? Like, I'm trying to think, with this type of spawn, if HRE could do anything but PS. Like, you could technically add in farms, but it doesn't sound like a good idea. Yeah, if you start layering in farms too quickly, Delhi just get all sacred sites. And the annoying thing about that is, like, while you're then still fumbling for farms, Delhi can do a number of things, including just go castle age. And that's how you really just kill HRE. Like, imagine you're HRE here. And you just decide, I just need mass farms. So the sheep run out real quick. You start spamming up farms. Meanwhile, Louis has just gone castle. And with map control, because you were building farms, takes all relics, right? Like, that's the problem that the HRE have to navigate here. It's like they can't really bully Delhi around easily in Feudal Age. But you also can't allow Delhi to have the map for free. Because whoever hits castle first has a very big, clear target in mind. Right? Relics matter so much in this matchup. Rats coming in. So VortiX will, of course, just be assisting the Pro Scout player with spears. Has to really, like, I mean, Men-at-Arms is way too expensive. And also, you don't really benefit from building Men-at-Arms against HRE. It used to be, actually, that HRE's best tactic was to build Men-at-Arms against Delhi. A long time ago, if you guys remember back in the days before Ghazi got added. But once the Ghazi got introduced, this just became a big no-no. Men-at-Arms was no longer viable. Archery as well, so it's going to be a 1-1-1. Louis already just prepping the stables. Did go for a very early play into Blacksmith here. Really good idea as well, considering that VortiX is going to be bogged down with other things. Like, he's going 1-1-1 and Pro Scouts. He can't really afford techs as well. The other annoying thing about this is, like, when you play ranged and melee, it devalues the Blacksmith timings for you. Because you aren't buffing your whole army with this one tech, right? You need two. Meanwhile, for Delhi, like, you know, you still have a very obvious target. Just undermesh is the most important thing. Right? Archers is the thing you want to try and relegate, and then anything else you can run away from. Side Archon? That's just how it works. This is what I mean with the Archons. You can tell Pro Scouts a mile off currently with these Archons. But guys, he can go 2TC. Please, dude, let's not do that. 2TC, actually, in fairness, we saw 2TC against Delhi the other day. It was Roost, though, which is a lot better at just optimizing into that play. Would it be possible to show the number of villages instead of the harvest? We normally do. I'm pretty sure we did at the start and then switched over. We often switch around. Because the thing is, the villager count may seem useful, but actually it doesn't imprint the impact of the economies a lot of the time. Right? Like, you can have 8 more villagers on wood than HRE and still be getting less. Louis has a second mill. Yep, quite a popular play. You go double mill, it gives you a good time into Pro Scouts. This is basically your very subtle, cheap way of countering Pro Scouts. It's really smart because it optimizes your berry gathering in the meantime. And it means he's now just 1 minute and 15 away from Pro Scouting in a situation where his opponent hasn't taken any deer from his side. Great opening here. VortiX. Archers are going to start marching to the south side. And the Pro Scouts play so far is brought 1 deer from the top and the full stack from the center. Horseman. He's got reinforcements coming in. So yeah, they'll be able to deny the Scholar. With Spearman here, the Ghazi can't help. So Scholar should be getting chased down. Ghazi trying to deny the scouts on the north side. I mean, in fairness, VortiX, he pulled all but 1 Spearman south. So this second deer stack should get slowed down a little bit, which is great for Louis, as he is now ready to start thinking about picking up the deer. I mean, you can think about it. The problem is, with VortiX's position, he's not going to let you have it easily. Louis has steered hard into archers. My worry is he's just not getting sacred sites, right? Like, he got that capture in 1, and that's kind of been it. Wasn't even able to sustain that. In Delhi, they really thrive off of 2 sacred sites as this Feudal Age goes on. Otherwise, HRE of Archon in particular is just going to feel like a much bigger benefactor of the feudal play. It's just getting big fast. The other thing that's really nice about playing feudal aggro HRE, it's not just like he's keeping up with Delhi double production rates. is the fact that his army arrives quickly, right? That marching drills effect is a big deal. A lot of civs struggle to just actually exude this army count, right? Like they have 7, 8 troops that just won't arrive in time. An HRE you can trust. Louis, just a rough one there. Gets a spin kill, loses 2 Ghazi. VortiX is just playing this so clean. I mean, this is what we talked about, the Spanish boogeyman. You know, I think he's looking in his best form that he's ever looked since his return to Age of Empires 4 from Age of Myth. Even more so than the tournament start of the year where he took 2nd. This is the guy to beat. This is the brute at the end of the journey. And the crazy thing is he's been able to get away with this without Undermesh being rushed. It's now only coming through. So, like, there was this window for Louis in theory, right? Like, he had Steel Dagger, he had Undermesh, but never felt confident or safe to use it. Felt like he was forced to be maybe overly defensive here. Spear archers. Every box ticked. I mean, VortiX. I love the way he delays this play into Horseman now. He essentially just waited for Louis to overinvest in archers. And now, with this surge of food from Pro Scouts, able to quickly catch up. More deer being snatched away. But Louis is at least getting a piece of the pie as well. Yeah, important considering he can't really afford to move out of his base at this stage. Normally, Delhi can get away with just building outposts on the berries because they've got sacred sites giving them extra resource. That's not the case here. Like Louis trying to mirror play into castle. Remember, his army's a lot weaker though. 9 scholars. So, you know, VortiX, if he keeps posturing like this, he'll be in perfect position to dive when the age up happens. The problem now for Louis is, like, if he waits any longer to age up, he's definitely going to get dove when he attacks. Because every time VortiX looks, he sees the difference in army size. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'm ahead. Little smile on the face. Tip of the hat. Denying all sights is crazy. I mean, that's the value of the movement speed, really. But we've been seeing some crazy occurrences recently. We just saw the other day, I think it was Malians beating Delhi with feudal pressure. That was even crazier than this. Just so well played. And VortiX now first to pull the trigger. Regnit's on the way. And another impact of LoueMT's state on this map is how difficult it is to go for the mass relic grab. He's trying for it on wide flank now. I'd be impressed if he gets the free back. Any more and he's a god, because he definitely doesn't have a scary position in this game currently. VortiX is just naturally going to back up. This is what you do when you age up. I do think that you don't have to back up the way you did, though, right? Like, when you're playing against slower moving units, like this infantryman, you could actually just posture more aggressively. In the event that you start to be aggroed, you just back away entirely, right? But maybe a missed opportunity there. But I think VortiX just didn't want to make it apparent wholly what he was doing. He maybe wanted to make Louis think twice. Age up now complete. Veterancy queued up. Once he hears that age up, VortiX is going to have to be thinking about relics ASAP. Because remember, Delhi is a civ that has the possibility of instantly picking up 5 relics upon age up. He's already grabbed 2. Regnitz means that VortiX needs a slice of that pie fast. He's going to be moving forward. Veterancy already on the way. For Louis, it's a minute and a half out. For VortiX, only 24 seconds. So a minute advantage to fight with. Ghazi also haven't been queued for upgrade either. He prioritized the War Elephant instead in the stables. Yeah, he only ever built 1 stables. Good news is, though, the Spearmen haven't been vetted from VortiX. He's just prioritizing the Knights. War Elephants are capable of miracles. Holding. Marching drills is difficult to do it against, but like I said, it's only hardened Spearmen. He's creeping in as well. This is now 4 relics. I can't believe this VortiX. I mean, I guess it's easier to head to the main base than to try and find all these relic grabbers, but too little too late, mate. 2 already home. 2 more creeping in from the north side. Now, he did realize it. He's moving north. So this should get intercepted. And guarding the south side as well. 3 still looking feasible, but I can't believe Louis got this close to even hoodwinking him. Scholar seen. Second one backs off further. Warlord's going to come out. Vortex will react in time. Walls are up, so the one guard is not going to achieve much. But that central relic, man, like, the prelate wasn't sent here first? Oh, no. This one will eventually get the kill. The other one's going to hide in the corner. I mean, tricky thing as well is, like, you know, Vortex, all the gold is going into army. It's not like it was going into greed. He didn't try to rush relics like most H3 players would. And another relic. This is actually happening. This could end up being a 5 relic deli game. It's actually no. Out of all the ways for this to just unravel, the relic race. I mean, Vortex, he looked like he was in prime position here. How far it has fallen in the last minute. New scholar needs to be pulled. There's at least cavalry looking to intercept, and there's still some rays of hope here. We talked about Louis needing to move out of the base eventually. We've reached that point. Vortex will see the upgraded berries. He knows there must be workers here somewhere. He slits off to look for them, and they run headfirst into him without textiles. A big hit! And it's coming in now, but Louis is going to be way too late. Damage will already be done to the workers. A phenomenal find for Vortex. And one that he absolutely needed with how this relic race has gone. And Prelate. Oh, come on. No. Oh, and the scholar's already ooga-boogering over. 5 relic game. Cavalry is still raiding though. I mean, Louis, this is weird. He won the he won the relic game, but he's losing the war. Like, this is actually ridiculous. Even more villagers going down. He pins him in. The body blocks. So on point. A 16 worker lead now for Vortex. Make it more. Make it stop. This is bullying. Unbelievable. Regnitz with 0 relics. And he's doing this. And you can't make this up. I mean, this has been so elegantly executed by Vortex. His eyes may not have been on the prize when it came to the relic game, but you cannot fault this man for his military usage at all. That has been a prime stake to sink your teeth into. Textiles at least there will make it harder now. I don't think it can get any harder than what Louis' game now is. Incredible. Vortex even now starting to get some farms through. That Regnitz has absolutely 0 use. I mean, you can build prelates to buff your economy. That's not a bad idea. And Vortex, he's prepping a spear wave and a crossbow wave. Which is interesting because Louis is just stuck on mass archers. It's a shame Vortex doesn't have more farms because actually Horseman does a lot for him here. But the thing is, Vortex, like, before he can react to archers, he has to react to elephants. At this rate, though, the elephants might start cannibalizing the Delhi people, considering they haven't been fed in weeks. There's 0 food income. Louis, this is just painful to watch, and it's going to get even more painful. Vortex. He could go in again. The knights are awaiting. The army's coming. They're not going to see each other until they're right on top of each other. Vortex. He actually does attack them. Okay, so scares them away. It's only archers after all. I think there's 2 crossbowmen here. But now we'll start moving. He forgot about it. He actually forgot about them. That's insane. If he just moved for those berries organically. So many dead workers, but it doesn't matter. He's moving into the base. Louis has got a castle drop now. Something to try and keep him in it. This corner is becoming uncomfortable. The good news is he has secured the berries as well as gold. Connects to the second tree line as well. Ghazi raids coming in. Spearman mostly just being ignored. Vortex. He saw the army, right? Like, he saw the archer mass. He sees it now. So he knows exactly what he's up against. Could it be a horseman switch? I mean, you could do knights here. Your opponent has barely got any crossbowmen. Instead, he just keeps lobbing more spears. Louis, is he thinking? He is. I think he's prepping for Imperial. He's up to 15 scholars. Like, you kind of just organically always want to produce scholars because they're so cheap anyway, so you can go Imperial whenever. But it feels like that's what he's seeing maybe as his win con. And War Elephants are great for getting you there. Like, very hard to kill unit, so doesn't often need to be replaced. Great at holding choke points from dives. It feels like it should be your safety net. Louis is about to feel uncomfortable in his base because VortiX, he's moving in position to try and fight over that second tree line. It's weird because Louis has this one down here, but like, there's no minerals around this unless you go far. VortiX. Whoa, boy, whoa. We may be jumping the gun here. Textiles helps a little, but not enough. Main clash gonna come in. VortiX starts to pull away. The spearmen jump in on the head buzz. The archers aren't microing away, though. VortiX is looking a little bit weird right now. The villagers, they recommit, but they're just going down. And the War Elephants, no, VortiX, not like this. Don't be that guy. Why are they always this person? It's elephants. Respect the Dumbo! Or die underneath its feet. Delhi. Wow. I what other unit ends the game that abruptly, you know? Like, come on. I think I still got that 1-0 relic regnets with perfect micro. I can't, like, I mean, the castle didn't even feel like it was going to do that much. That's rough. I mean, he didn't have mass farms, right? So he wasn't safe economy yet, in fairness to him. But they're still really rough. All right, next up, we're going to Hallowed Springs. This is one of Cardio's creations. I believe it's first used in one of the Oppoer's earlier tournaments. So, is Hallowed Spring in the list? Probably not. No? Oh, it is. Nice. Fantastic. And it is going to be Shushi versus Roos matchup. Oh, just the dude, freaking Delhi. Like, Delhi. All I can really say is Delhi. Do I need to say more, chat? Do I? Delhi. Never a delightful experience, a delightful experience. Oh dear, oh dear. Lou should have gone Men at Arms with Mace upgrade and he would roll that? No, dude. He built Spearmen into elephants and still got erased. Like, the play there is meant to be your crossbows, but his Spearmen got deleted way too quick. There was a lot of archers. Maybe mangoes? I actually don't mind the idea of, like, a handful of horsemen. Like, we said it earlier for him, like, horsemen, because the archer count got really, really high. Like, horsemen or maybe knights. Want to watch this, but there's also DOTI. You can watch multiple streams. That is a feasible thing, you know. There's even, like, there's even, like, multi-stream views you can do where you can watch multiple streams. of when I'm on the weekend. Yeah, it has to be rarer because, like, you know, when I'm casting and hosting, whether it's AoE or different games on different channels, right? Like, the times where they'll always have the most overlap is weekends, which is why, like, I tend to not stream weekends. Because, like, if I set the precedent too regularly, it's like, then people are like, oh, why is he not live? It's like, well, it's obvious why, but... Whereas, like, Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays has always been someone we're like, yeah, we can consistently connect with that. That's good. Okay, so game 3. Elephant's OP. Let's get ready for game 4. Oh, and we need to put a point up. I totally forgot to. My bad. I'm atrocious for that at the moment. All right, next up, we've got a pretty cool one. We don't actually get to see this map that often. It was made a while ago. It's kind of like a wackier version of Himiyama. Yeah, welcome back, folks. It's time for Hallowed Spring, created by the one and only Caillou, here in the grand finals of the Opposers World Cup. LoueMT is the Shushi up against VortiX on his roost, and LoueMT is already into the lead for this game number 4. Yeah, so Hallowed Spring, guys. Pretty interesting one. When I say it's like a bigger Himiyama, you see what I mean now. More fish. Bigger pond. There's 8 shoreline fish here. An aesthetic golden stone that looks very pretty. And then 2 tight sacred sites that in theory should make picks like Delhi really good. The other nice thing actually is that the berries are right up against the shore. So you can get the double value of dock to drop off at berries as well. But Roos and Shushi, interesting picks here. Roos... Probably thinking about the Pro Scout, same as Shushi. The interesting thing about this map is the deer spawns are very wide, right? They're pushed on the flanks because the natural nature of spawn terrain, right, is that the water takes precedent and then you can't be near it. So deer often just get split. Yeah, the ball both being on the south side, though, could make this to be quite the hot-headed engagement a little bit deeper in the game. I'm a little bit surprised nobody went for a water focus here, especially considering like Louis himself had an English pick, right? An English pick, and there's only what left over: Cliffside, Gorge, Lippy, and I think that would be it. So presumably he's saving English as a flex pick towards Cliffside alongside something else. Oh, sorry, no, VortiX is English. That's right. But Roos coming out here. You'll see why. The hunting cabins are very nice. Yeah, you just get a big fat tree line behind your base all the time. Even nice for a high trade house down the line. No, these aren't aesthetic. These are actually mineable. So yeah, I know a lot of people... We talked about immersive mining with front range. Avali was not the first person to add in immersive mining. Shout out to Caillou. I believe he was the first one to do it. Intentionally, anyway. If you create a map and you accidentally spawn them, it doesn't really count. Rough map for Mali? Not entirely. You get triple gold spread out around your base quite nicely. I don't think it's the end of the world. So, like, you can get 3 golds. The 4th one's annoying, but, like, you know, if you're a Malian player and you're talking too much about Imperial Age, you need to rethink how you're playing Mali. Because Mali, like, you might end up in Imperial Age. But the idea is if you end up in Imperial Age, it's because you've done something advantageous in Castle, right? That's your goal anyway. Like, Malians is not really a civ that aims for the deep game, right? They aim for the cow boom. So 3 pit mines, good enough. And how are the predictions going? Okay, so 65% for Louis. I'm not really surprised. Roos, they've been devalued recently. They're not as good as they once were. Whereas Shushi has remained a pretty potent pick. Meditation Garden, not that potent though. Yeah, gets the 36 food, 25 gold, maybe about 10 wood. It's not very good. Golden Gate on the other side, almost complete. Should just be the macro towards Pro Scouts. I mean, he's almost there already. Did only go double scout. Hasn't added in the 3rd yet. The sheep game. Oh my god. No, don't Pro Scouts. Just attack. He got 25 sheep. That's a bah humbug moment for LoueMT. So his only appropriate reaction... I mean, he doesn't even Pro Scout. He goes for the fish. Okay. I think if VortiX just attacks here, it's a winning play, but he's adding an extra scout, so it looks like we are going to be seeing PS regardless. I mean, I can't... I mean, it's worth because his opponent's not pro scanning, right? But my frustration comes from the fact that we're in a game where a player got 25 sheep and he still pro scouts. And wait, no, Louis. I hope he wasn't expecting fishing. I think he's just doing this galley to protect his fishing interest, right? Because like, there's a lot of value here. There's 8 shoreline fish, which means there's a total of 4,000 food to be grabbed. Or another way to think of it, not quite 2 deer stacks. A second dog now. Yeah, so Louis just trying to optimize both sides here. I'm just shocked, man. I think VortiX, when he looks back at this game, I wonder if he'll realize, like, oh, actually, like, yeah, he was starving. There was a push. I mean, I think in hindsight, if he knew this dock was coming, he probably would have maybe tried to aggro. Like, you know, you open Spearman, Archer, and then just build Rams. Maybe. Actually, probably Archer Knights. The problem with going Spear Archer is Chuganu counter everything. But then again, your opponent has, like, no food to build Chug with, right? He would have just been starved out. But instead, it's just going to be your atypical pro scout into probably fast castle build. Wonder, is Louis just gonna age? I feel like this is just a fast castle game. Oh, there's dude. I think my Twitch chat has become the new in-game chat when Kilyadi isn't in-game against Dumu. Once again, game over because sheep RNG. I mean, it's something I'm really hoping we see change. Like, I really hope, like, honestly, if the developers are watching this, reach out to Caillou. Like, the dude has the right idea. And so did Avali, actually. Both of them had the right idea in a way that I haven't seen from the official developers. They devalued sheep by either just removing most of them from the map, or what they've started to do. And you guys are going to see that this week in KPMM, because we've got a new map called Bazaar coming through. Hopefully it gets a few picks. The sheep, they spawn at the start, near your TC, and that's it. Right? I think, and Caillou, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure there's a way to hard code where sheep spawn on the map also as an alternative. I actually kind of like that idea as well. Some people won't, but like the thought process there, or like as close to hard code as possible, right? Because like there's still resources getting spawned in between. The idea of something like that that's really cool is then it becomes a balanced choice as a player between scouting your opponent or getting more sheep. Like something I've said before I'd love to see is like gather buildings of sheep. So like a cool point of interest would almost be a neutral pasture where you'd walk over and you'd stand next to it, and every 5-10 seconds, whatever it is, a new sheep rallies onto your scout, right? But it has a limited number of sheep, like 10 in total or something. So you can grab them, and then you can be like, okay, I only need 4 sheep here, so now I'm going to go back, and now I'm going to see what my opponent's up to. Or maybe you say, I don't care what my opponent's up to, I'm going to gather all the sheep, right? Like, I think something like that would be really cool. Might be a bit of an advantage for Roos, to be honest, but... Actually, I'm going to make a note to that, the devs. I really like that as a point of interest idea. I think I mentioned 2 of them before, but I'll just make sure. High trade house coming in, guys. Get your numbers in. That's looking like a decent one, actually. LoueMT, though, he's already aged up ahead of time, right? And he has got the Shallow Monastery, so this is going to be a relic race. Yeah, relic race where VortiX has got a grand total of no real military units to scare the crap out of you. He's still playing that Pro Scouts game, though, right? Long term, it's going to serve him better, because LoueMT, remember, he got his hands on 4K food here. He also then knocked out another 2.5. But the deer are going to be worth 7.5 between the 3 stacks. And then we've got to talk about things like the infinite food from the High Trade House, which is 133 gold. We like them numbers. We like them numbers a lot. That's only tier 1 bounty, by the way. Nice idea. Okay, so this is the strat. Yeah, Louis. He's taking advantage of the fact that he has pond control. So he's just going to lock in the sacred sites early, then go for the relics, and essentially force his opponent to have to commit onto this. Which is rough for Roos because they build horse archers. And so archer ships will be able to trade out well. Horse archers moving in. Monk standing his ground. Body of art. I love this. Yeah, the archer ship's just not getting target fired down. It's going to be a better trade than the old man. And there's your answer. Wait. Wait, but I'm here. Boats cannot capture sacred sites. They cannot decapture them. They cannot even hold on to them for you. Boats aren't real people. They don't have feelings. That's why you guys are absolutely fine to go rip into them on Reddit. They don't have a soul. Nice find. Gets the worker. No, boats can't decap them. Remember, Louis was capturing it. So that bar should have paused when the boat was there, but it didn't. Boats do nothing to sacred sites other than guard them. They're not doing a good job of that either. VortiX is like, oh yeah, I'll just take everything. I think he's realized it's much more value just to go into the base though, because like Louis is adding in a lot of boats. He doesn't have much. I mean, he's got bare minimum defense, right? He's got a handful of spearmen and a nest of bees. Guys, nest of bees this early rarely worked out. You haven't walled sufficiently to value nest of bees yet. The map is way too wide. More archers. Now just a little bit of a poke in. Finding some worker kills, and now VortiX also finding relics. 151 gold now with tier 2 bounty. High Trade House is already delivering in a big way. More archers. Yeah, this is the thing. Once he realizes there's one more going up, he knows you're looking for the rest. So 2 more worker kills. Entry achieved. Spearman can just get kited out. VortiX has the perfect number to just insta-kill spears. I wonder, does he just go boar now? I mean, you could look to sneak out. I don't think he needs to yet, though, right? Like, he's still got some deer to play with. Really good-looking game for VortiX. Knight's queued up now. And he needs an answer to Nest of Bees. The only reason he hasn't just dove to end this game is that one knob. Ah, so KP, you're wrong. It is actually doing things. It is and it isn't. It's deferring the default win, but it's not stopping it from coming, right? Like, this is... Louis' economy just looks pitiful. I mean, it's not that bad, but, like, when you think about the army value and where he's allocated most of his army value, that's what makes it pitiful for Louis. All these archer ships, and for what? And wait, is there... Okay, there's not. That would have been disgusting. Time has started for Louis. Like, in theory, you know, I mean, you don't need workers as long as you can hold the sacred sites for 10 minutes. But I don't think we're at the point where we can hold it for 10. So maybe we want to keep those workers alive a little bit longer. STPs. Oh, No, they both went north. They both went north. VortiX just realized that that's an entry. Runs straight past the spears. He doesn't care. That's a freebie. The spears aren't going to clear up fast enough. So starts to snipe down, and this is the weird thing, like Nest of Bees counter to mass horse archers, but small groups not so good. Takes them ages to wipe out, right? Because these units are beneficial when there's bulk. When there's small splodgenings, they just don't get the kills that fast. Healthy lead now for VortiX. Louis, so much wood being gathered, so he's thinking about a farm transition soon. I mean, the shoreline fish still got some way, but it's just... You don't want to overgather it, then it just disappears even quicker and you're even more screwed. Might have to go for poor man's farms, right? Like, I mean, your food income is really bad, right? So the idea of just going for song feels pretty ambitious. So many knights. I mean, this is the power of deer gathering. Should I say the plower? Because it just plows them through. VortiX. He's got knights now. That's got to worry Louis a little. And... Oh my god. What is that? Ruse? Rushing water in castle. You never say that. That's the triple dock. Oh my god. I don't think you call it a sneak when you build a whole harbor. First dock up. The one villager's like, I got this, boys. Spring this is the worst feeling. He built mass archer ships. Oh no. Horse archer knights. Rohirrim riding in. Now the speed count is looking quite decent at this point for Louis. VortiX is standing still a lot. Yeah, but there's the sneaky and the knights. They jump on in. The Wallow comes through. Vacated the area. VortiX just about gets out of range in time. But the Nesta bees are gone. And Louis, he pulled too late. This is over. The knobs were the one hope for Louis. The backpack monks ain't going to do it. The fishing ain't going to do it. The ruse efficiency is simply too high. Man, he just waited for that opening and then just struck into it like a free goal. Well played. That was quite a funny way to try and play that map, though. I mean, like, I don't know. It's... I wonder if there'll be an optimal strat around that. It almost felt like the way he's trying to play it, as you can say, it's like King of the Hill just played... It's like... What's that? It's like King of the Hill like logic of like getting to that optimization point, but different. Cheap decided the game, don't be fooled. I mean, sure, but like outside of that, I'm talking about the way that Louis tried to play out of it. Geez, you're so negative, Gilyardi. Why is there 2 JD games? Oh, wait. Did I accidentally... Yeah, for some reason I got Jean instead of Knights. Oh, it's because they're in the list next to each other. There you go. All right. So, next game. Lipany. Iabids versus Biz. I mean, I really like Byzantines, but Iabids have been quite crafty recently. They've got some creative builds. I still feel like I'm leaning Biz on this one, though. Biz are just, like, very quickly... I think I said on the broadcast yesterday, to me, Biz are the new Gen Rus, right? Like, they're this pick that could just work anywhere and work really well. Like, it's very rare to find a map where you see Byzantines and go, well, that sucks. Oh, dude, that actually kind of sucks. So apparently at TI there might be situations where people are giving away certain hidden information from the crowd. I hope not. That would be such a depressing stain upon an awesome event. But like this stuff has happened before. So like I remember talking to some pros about this, and this is absolutely wild, by the way. So basically I remember talking to some of the players, and I was like, yeah, but they got like soundproof boxes, right? So you can't hear anything. He's like, actually you can. I was like, huh? He's like, the thing is, when you get a big arena of people that are really hype, the vibrations on the actual container units gives it away. So like if you're playing a game where like, so for those that don't know Dota 2, like you got an objective called Roshan, it's a really big deal. And if you're sneaking a Roshan, like the crowd is going to go wild, right? Because it's game changed. Like, oh my God, it's a huge objective. They're getting it for free, right? It's like the equivalent of getting 5 relics. It's like, what the hell? What just happened? Right? Even higher than that. 5 Regnitz relics and your opponent doesn't know, right? It's that level. So when that happens, the crowd's going to go crazy, right? Like, oh my God, oh my God. And the vibrations from the excitement and all the yelling and all the movement reverberates through the units, the soundproof units that like the players are inside, which tells them that something's happening, right? So it's very, very hard to guaranteed stop hidden info, even if you do something like, you know, having having the soundproof booths. It doesn't guarantee it. Okay. Do we have predickies? I'll get it done. All right, so VortiX able straight back. Let's get ready for game 5. It's just a poor installation of the booths. Yes and no. It can still happen unless you have like anti-vibration pads, which like I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I'm not an expert on like the technical setups of those. I don't know how much that would run you. Like don't know how safe that is. Right. All right, let's get ready to go. This next pick, I think, is bordering on broken. In fact, if you run headfirst into it, you need to have something crafty, creative, and off the cuff to solve for them. And I think the Civ that can do that is the Camel Nation. Welcome back to the channel, folks. The broken Civ I'm talking about is down here. LoueMT in the Grand Finals, game number 5, picks the Byzantines. VortiX takes the Iabids. And the thing that's just making Byzantines so good at the moment is they're essentially like a 2TC Civ without doing 2TC, right? The system build is just so much more organic and natural in the way that it flows throughout the game. It's made Byzantines just look so safe of a pick and has to be feeling great on a map like this. Louis whips them out on Lipany, a map that has additional berries, mirrored by, of course, the value of Iabids being here. Now, the reason why Iabids can actually be quite surprising is their variability of play based on their wins. So there's a lot more going on than just landmarks, but it's fair to say that like landmarks anchors you in certain directions, and you only get 2 landmark choices with most civs per age. The cool thing about Iabids is you get 4 very different choices. Now we won't talk about one of them. People don't really do trade wing gamba, but Iabids, actually sorry, it's 8, right? In 4 subsectors. They have so many options that could open up different doors. So you get Growth Wing for early aggro. You can get Desert Raider for free to force reactions in Castle. You can go for Dervish for extended feudal pressure. You can go for the Industry for a tempo 2-unit comp timing. Or even for Pro Scouts. So there's several different options on the table for Iabids that actually gives them a lot more bite against civs like Byzantines, at least in early game, than others. Especially considering that Byzantines, ever since the change where the system build took over, their priorities switched. They used to be about that first 8-9 minutes of gameplay. Now they're about later, right? This civ now thrives off of their timings around level 5 System into a tech up for Golden Horn Tower, where they generate a lot of mercenaries very quickly. And interesting. So VortiX going Growth Wing. So is he going to use this for aggro, or is he going to use it for greed? Because it's been kind of 50-50 on how it gets utilized. Like, Growth Wing is still great for just a fast tech up. I'm not happy. The efficiency, man. Come on, I thought we had this down by now. Yeah, remember, guys, when you go Growth Wing, you want to leave at least 1 berry, 1 food on each of these berries. So you get the additional 50 food in the case of Feudal Age. So a little bit of food missed out on there. But last game, VortiX hit the jackpot on food to win the game. This time around, it's a bit more balanced. 14 sheep for him. Louis ended up with 10, but he's been gathering while VortiX has not been touching the sheep. So pretty decent game overall for Louis. I believe map-wise, they've pretty much split all sheep. There's maybe 1 or 2. Yeah, crept all the way in the corner. Grand Winery now in the back. It's got the system connection after this into the gold and the berries, right? Look at the wood gathering. We're definitely going to get some presents out of VortiX. The most obvious one is usually a stables drop opening into Desert Raiders. I don't know if you want to steer another way where you go archery just so your opponent doesn't open Limitane. The problem with that, though, is like if he then goes Horseman, he's going to come to raid you, which if this is really a castle build for VortiX, you don't want to encourage that. That's usually why, like, when you see stables beginnings, castle seems viable. When you see archery beginnings, I think that's an IBID player committing to the age. Either way, the cool thing about either of those buildings and why they dominate compared to racks is they give you 2 unit types, whereas racks would only give you the 1. And that is interesting. So he goes archery. I mean, it's interesting in some ways, but I guess also you could argue it's expected because we're watching a VortiX game. This guy is historically known for being a very aggressive player. So really wouldn't be surprised at seeing him trying to gung-ho send it. Stables as well. Yeah, so this is going to give him more archers for Limitane, horsemen for the Lombos. Usually you'd be expecting Lombos here. The reason is, like, if you really wanted to, you could force javelins with just a single Desert Raider. But I don't think you really want to be up against Javs here. The reason is if you then go castle, Byzantines with Camel Riders actually beats Camel Lancers. As long as they have a similar-ish count. Because Camel Riders are absurdly effective against Lancers. Horseman queued up. Archers are revealed. And, a bit of a problem there. Louis, he didn't move away quick enough. He could have actually kept that as known, but also unknown information, right? He could have not let VortiX know that he knew what was coming. So with that in mind, I imagine VortiX is going to lean more into Horseman now. Mirrored Horseman play coming from Louis. Usually when you see Horseman as an opener, guaranteed you're going to be seeing Lombos as a follow-up. It just plays very nicely, like bread and butter together, right? It feels really weird to do Javelin Horseman because at that point you are full anti-ranged and you haven't ticked any other box. Like any other unit type has not been counted at all. How do you guys think a little about Byzantines currently, by the way? My take on it is I actually want to see more civs function like Byzantines on a scaling point by default. The pacing's kind of wacky, considering how much side investing they do into stone, yet how they keep up. I almost kind of wish more civs had this type of level by default. It's tricky to do in some ways, because you might lose some of the beautiful depth of asymmetry in AOE4. But it does just feel like whatever Byzantines are aiming for, they're able to direct their attention towards it a lot quicker than a lot of civs. Maybe we should all get systems. Oh, yeah, it looks like it is going to be a castle rush. So VortiX, even outposting the gold, that's going to allow him to be unshackled, aggroing. And, I mean, this is what he wanted, right? Like, we wondered with the Horseman Arch at the beginning. He didn't scale it at all, but he forced a big investment out of Louis. Going 3 Horsemen is a lot for nothing to counter. Now, I imagine Dervish. Yeah, the logic with this type of build is, like, you shouldn't really need to advancement because your opponent should be bogged down. Right? Like, he's building extra, so he's not going to rush age. Also, he's not level 5 system yet. The Dervish would give him a rush towards relics. Military Wing Mastersmiths is pretty underrated here just for the rush into Military Academy because it's the pump rate on Lancers. It takes you down to producing every 26 seconds, but Logi is just too good to resist. Yeah, especially with this relic spawn. Like, actually, what is that bias? Wait, what? It's almost perfect balanced relics, but then you realize, A, there's just one that for some reason is VortiX's base instead. But here's the other funny part. 2, you guys noticing a slight gravitational pull towards red. Good news for Louis is he knows exactly where to camp. Bad news is if I'm VortiX, I could be considering Gulam here. My goal isn't to rush your base, right? My goal is to rush the relics now. And because of the linear neutral nature of all the relic spawns, you have a really good way of playing towards that with Gulams. He has got a Rax already, so yeah, I mean, with Spearman coming out, this is definitely on the table. Like 2 horsemen can do anything. I'm more worried about the Limitane, okay? The horseman is like, is side dressing. You know when you get like the big burger come out and they put like some small cherry tomatoes on your plate? You're like, I'm not eating that crap. Give me the meat. You're lucky I'm eating the lettuce that you put. You're lucky I'm eating the grass that you put inside the burger, all right? The only grass that should be in my burger is the grass that you fed to that cow before it was killed. And then you have to cook it. What better way to cook it than a Kira siphon? I mean, guys, this makes Gulams even better. Like, every single thing that Louis is doing makes Gulams even better right now. I wonder if VortiX is going to realize it, because he's got double stables for Lancers. But 2 or 3 Gulams here gives you a lot of hold. Right, Hodor's the movement, whereas Lancers is a really slow ramp up. Lancers are going to take you 35 seconds. If you go for the Golems, only 26. And of course, a lot cheaper. 150 versus the 240. And there we go. My boy, VortiX, he knows. Golems on the way. And there's a problem here, guys. Louis may have just blocked the gold, but... that is just an open door. That's like when you live in the woods and you grow local chickens, but you forget to lock the coop, and then you wonder how a fox got in. Or in this case, out. He's even just taking one from behind the army. Yeah, he hasn't scouted it. VortiX actually doesn't know about that relic. That's interesting. Still, he sneaks it unseen. Louis just looked, now sees there's no relic. And he's going to be steering, but guys, he's steering with horsemen. Guys, it's... Oh no! You almost got me. What will I do? I am a poor, unarmed man. Haha, suckers! Meditech. Oh, come on. 3 relics home. Mosque now being erected. And VortiX, I mean, he's in prime shape right now. What does Louis have to show for it? We haven't got any olive growth scaling. He's up to level 5 cistern. Berries coming through. And of course, he is going to have the mercs now, but he did actually go for the Silk Road. This could be really cool if he rolls into Camel Riders a lot. Yeah, he's already got the inflated production rate, right? Like, Camel Riders, remember, guys, Camel Riders are really, really good against the Lancers because Camel Riders do 28 damage, I believe it is. I think it's 14. And they have 270 HP, while Lancers only have 210 with 4 melee armor. But Riders have 0 melee armor, right? But there's 22 damage on the Sword Strike here versus the 28. So you're already in a situation where the Camel Riders do more damage in the trade per strike. To make it better, Camel Riders have a better attack speed. Like, it's just tick box, tick box, tick box. The only problem sometimes with this strategy as Byzantines is, like, actually getting them, right? Like, you don't want to use your berry olive oil or melee units often because it's very much a one and done. Like, that's, if it's a melee unit, it's going to be the first thing to die in a fight. So often people just scale javelins, archers instead. But if the Golden Horn Tower starts rolling it, it's actually a high value outcome here. What is not looking like a high value outcome for Louis is the fact that this is the only relic he can dream of. And even this one, the dervish is thinking about it. He's like, okay, fine, I'll just take the Sacred Site instead. Could he maneuver in? Is that the idea? Oh, no, he's going to take too long, and Louis realizes. Because if he Ring a Rosie's there and the charge runs out, he can then pick up the relic and walk. Lancers. He'll be walking into the base. Louis keeps the army home, though. Okay, so it looks like there's a hunker down and greed now. At least momentarily. Louis' food game gets a bit harder from here, right? Like, now we're playing towards Ford resources. He does, however, have a high-value 8 berry stack in the corner. Would be a long cistern route, but, I mean, aqueducts don't cost much, and this is very woolable. You guys thought this game was over because he got 4 relics? I'm sorry. Did you not listen to everything we said earlier about the Byzantines? Guys, they've got a 26% eco buff compared to a 10% eco buff right now. Come on. And let's not forget the production rates, the research rates. It all comes in so quick. I mean, even things like this. If he just toggles dielectrics on, manganellum placements get done in like 8 seconds. Don't ask me why. It's a thing. For reasons that will never make sense. Alright, 1's in chat if you think Louis will win this. 2's if you think it's going to be VortiX. Let's see how game sense is for you guys. There is a power spike timing coming for VortiX in 5 buildings. Make it 4. If he primes Military Academy alongside Golden Age 3, you have a production advantage. Alright, like, I mean, Conscriptio is strong. But, actually, like, in fairness, It's kind of dumb just how good Conscriptio is. Like, it's 100% production rate buff, which means it is better than, like, production speed and Military Academy and IU. Like, in theory, the quality of Camel Lancers is what you win out with, right? Like, VortiX. The count isn't that impressive, though. Yeah, only 6 to his name. We also have some Camel Riders in the mix now for Louis. Oh, poke raid actually gets a kill. That's good value. Horseman and a scout to get a villager kill, you're happy with. This will at least go down. And VortiX realizes how dangerous this could become quickly, so he's going to be the one prepping textiles. Yeah, textiles already in for Louis though. Like, that was already forced. I do like this, however, Manganiques. Now, Manganiques are pretty insane here. Really good against the javelins, but actually, guys, surprisingly effective against Rangian. Rangian have 15 less HP. Means they die a lot quicker to that generic damage from the Manganique shots. And this has become popular with IU, just scaling 4, 5 of these Manganiques. You know, very reminiscent of the old school Mongol days. You guys remember that when you used to get the improved siege engineering? Considering IBID's all about these tempos and these timings, like, it makes sense that they would be the Civ still leveraging this advantage, as they need to. You know, this isn't a Civ that economically feels miles ahead, usually ever. Squaring up, seeing the armies. Got to be careful if you're Louis around these choke points. They're your negative. Cool thing about Camel Riders, by the way, we talked about them for dealing with Camel Lancers. They also do get double damage versus siege. Sorry, close to. They get scammed a little. Instead of 14, it's 10. But it's still a decent 24 base shot per strike into a unit that only has 130 HP. And VortiX now, even with the Springolds. I'm really liking the look of this for him right now. Javelins can be a little bit annoying against the Springs, but, you know, we talked about the Rangian having less HP. This is going to hurt them in that engagement as well. And then Limitana even going to be feeling the burn a bit. Like, you know, he saw how big the army was, and VortiX is just essentially answered with a big anti-bulk solution. How can Louis destroy the siege? Javelins for Springolds is it. He has no answer to Manganiques right now. He has 4 Camel Riders. That's the only things that answer. I guess Scouts as well. Like, Scouts, actually, people quite often forget, do a lot of damage to siege. But that's not really a unit you're going to rely on to reach the siege with all these spears. Yeah, because the other thing that's quite frustrating here is, like, for VortiX, you don't have to compromise these spears in the front fight. Like, you can actually just keep them back, right? And just kind of pseudo frontline with your archers. Idea there being is it guarantees that even if Louis got a handful of horsemen right now, he wouldn't be able to reach the siege. And is that just a wide open guy? It is. Oh, this map always does this, man. The amount of times that there's like a tiny little crevasse that people forget to wall. Oh, good guy VortiX at least lets Louis know he's compromised. And then just jams his army in front of it so he can't do anything about it. Mangonel Tower's going to get good value, though. I don't know, I mean, VortiX, like, yeah, it's an opening, but, like, seeing the Mango Tower diving in here and the timing on that is so frustrating. He's like, okay, gonna burn it down before it gets up. Why? Why is it upgraded? Has to walk back and add in the rams. Did you guys know the one-on-one outpost upgraded with Mangonel and Fortification versus a ram? A Mangonel Tower will almost beat a ram one-on-one. Just let that sink in for a moment and now scream about how ridiculous that is. It is ridiculous, right? Like, make me feel sane. I know a ram is only 200 wood, but considering it's meant to be the counter unit type, I don't care that the outpost costs more. Like, it shouldn't be that close. Jab stepping up from Louis. I mean, fortunately for him, the mangoes were not looking. The problem is this outpost here has a mangonel emplacement, right? It's like either way you're brute forcing through one or you're going super wide. The reason why VortiX doesn't want to go wide is like Louis could then just move straight towards your base. Right? Like it's a central route in a game where you're both playing infantry. It also means that you'll be out of position. Like, if you miss position, your siege is dead. He has siege, right? He should be in charge here. Vortex is going to need the man things up to guarantee that. Quite trying to come on the spring arms, and he has not switched over to the incendiary shot, weirdly enough. I'm a bit surprised by this. Triple ram's a quick way of dealing with the Mango Tower. Going to force the commitment. Mango shots coming in. Spring arms trying to line up for those shots too. As the melee does start to spread out, but now the backstab coming in. The Camel Lancers reaching into the Greek Mangoes. They're pushing further forward. Tries to wipe out the archers, catches some of the siege, but now it's siege on siege trade. The Lancers have been fully sacked, though. However, the few spearmen left over are starting to reach in. The archers now diving deeper. They need to try and maintain this push. VortiX, he's still got Springholds in reserve. Two of them get splintered. Louis able to hold and push the Spaniard back. That tower. It's still alive. He couldn't get the killing blow. And it opens up a counter push now. Louis just still with a decent amount of melee. And also the Mango game, man. He's up to 6 siege weapons now. He's just outgunning the Manganique timing here. I'm impressed. I didn't expect him to win a siege war like this. You know, we said he didn't have an answer to Mangoes and Springholes, and he took that personally. So he takes his credit card to the local vendor and he buys out every mango possible, because it's nice to have a mango in a tower, but why would you stop there? Another player really having an army left over that can just kill the game. So it will just be a back off reset, but you're happy with this, right? Like, you've extended the game more, got the system buffs. The bigger this villager number goes, the bigger you feel you have an advantage within reason. And also keep in mind that olive groves needed to start coming in. So that's why Louis is not going to push, right? He's running out of the last of his limited food, other than deer, which is just not ideal, right? Like, he still sees javelins as a key part of his composition due to the archer mass from VortiX. Instead of throwing away 50 pop, he could invest in a single treb. But a single treb doesn't work because a villager will repair for that, right? Like, I understand VortiX's frustration. It's like he'd have to get, what, 3 trebs at least? Even then, Wood can repair that. And the problem with going trebs is a slow solution to a rapidly growing problem. Like, Byzantines is not the type of civ you leave unchecked. They scale way too fast. Especially at the mid-game. Like, the amount of free mercs. Remember, they get 5 mercs for free every 1.5 minutes. Then you have the percentile scaling. Louis? Oh, hold on a sec. That would be quite the heist. Yeah, with only 7 Varangian, I'd have big questions if that ever happened. Farm's now being set up, so VortiX also prepping for the late game. I think we might have our longest game in the series so far. It's definitely aligning for it. Like, no one's trying to just rush end the game. I like that he's sending Camel Lancers through. Like, he's remassing them, but you want to be using them for raiding. Like, in fairness, this game, VortiX, I think he tried to raid once, and that was it. That was the only time he was able to potentially find damage. I mean, you can see in the work account, right? Like, 1 kill on each side. Pretty crazy to think, the way this game's been playing, that we haven't seen more work of deaths. Lancers charging out. Good fight here. Limitane are starting to be queued up, but they actually weren't on the front line yet. Yeah, trickling in is probably the worst thing that could happen here, actually, for Louis. Just needs to sack them and get the hell out of dodge. Lance is now stabbing from the back as well. Love this patience from VortiX. Just kind of baiting Louis into what looked like a free base. Now puts him on check. I mean, with only 4 spearmen in the fight, like, the Lancers ultimately aren't counted right now. Would love to see VortiX just getting a dervish. You know, you've got a lot of empty health bars there. The replenishment is so slept on at this point in the game. Oh, man, this is so annoying as well. Normally, You can see he's macroing towards Imperial, right? Like, normally with IU, you think reinforcement. Reinforcement's crazy, guys. You get 680 resources per minute worth of units. But the negative is you're up against mass javelins, right? So Desert Raiders are inherently lower value because of that. Dare I say Trade Wing Bazaar? Or is that too bizarre? But now it's going to be a reinvest. I just don't see like an insta GG choice. Like, advisors would actually be pretty sick, right? If you're definitely going hyper late game. And he's also switching Gulam now. Gulam are high value targets for the 20% increase in health. A bit of poke damage here. Louis doesn't have those walls up yet. Should have the time to get the army across. Yeah, pulled everyone home. Now, I know what people are going to say. This is going late game, KP. This is over. Byzantines. Olive oil. Greek power. Mercenaries. Oil. You are correct, astute viewer, but also you are devaluing Ayabed's hyper late. Which, by the way, is now approaching Master Smiths. But Louis gets the info on the cheap. That's so high value. 2 Limitane going in. Scout the age up. I'm pretty sure he saw it. Yeah, hyper late for Ayabids is surprisingly effective. A few things to keep in mind here. Gulams, pretty sick. Right? A very high base health men at arms. Especially against the Byzantine comps and mercenaries. Really good. But what makes them super powerful is the Mamluks Bravery deck. Sultan's Mamelukes gives them movement speed and damage, which is phenomenal in the double strike. And then, you know, further down the line in a hyper late, we could be talking about Trade Wing Advisors, where he'll be able to get the extra health. No, Master Smiths in Imperial should just be all the melee tech. So he's going to get 2,000 resources in melee tech, melee and range techs. Then he should get the Military Academy for 350. I don't think it gives more, which to me is kind of stupid. You should honestly be getting infantry support and Sultan's Mamelukes. Like, everything here that isn't researched should be given to you with Master Smiths. I don't think that would be broken either. Because, like, currently, it's just these 5 things here. So these 2, I'm pretty sure, still get ignored. We just very rarely see this, man. Like, this is the thing. Ayabids with Master Smiths in Feudal and Castle, I think, is very strong now. Feudal in particular is really, really good. Castle, situational. The Imperial, like I said, it's just... The other choice feels bad, right? Into mass javelins. And there you go. Yeah, that's confirmation you don't get it for free. He's already queued Sultan's Mamluks. Foreign engineering company on the way, though, for Louis. And reminder, he's got camels. If VortiX plays Mass Gulam, this is a pretty important detail in fights. The plus armor is going to make his life a living hell. There you go. Tech up complete. If you look at the blacksmiths, all those techs are gone. For some reason, it doesn't give you these for free, and I think that's just silly. I don't think VortiX is going to be happy when he hears the age up. I don't like the Gulam idea against the Camel Aura. Like, look, it just kicked in. Look at the armor now. That's a spearman with 4 melee armor. Kind of makes you hate life. I mean, in fairness, though, like, he's got elite techs coming in, right? So VortiX, potentially a window, but he never answered the Mangonel mass. No, it's still the same problem from before. Remember, he lost the siege game, and now he has mass archers against it. Oh, God. I mean, the archers, they aren't even sniping the mangoes. They're actually taking out the javelins instead. Finally, target fire goes over onto them. Gulams, they're starting to break that front line, but Louis, yeah, mistakes made there. He didn't have the camels nearby. The aura only just showed up. However, frontline Gulams Finn. Upgrades kicking in for Louis. It's going to be a hold. I mean, but there's no dervish either. VortiX is just losing blobs and blobs of archers. I can't believe this. I mean, it's not getting the most impactful fights. Like, Vortex's micro is good, right? But, like, that just means his archers aren't fighting. So then it's Ghoulam's versus the rest. And guys, Ghoulam's, because of that armor now, it's just freaking ridiculous. Are you guys seeing these numbers correctly? Even the camels themselves get the extra melee tech now as well, right? So they've got 7 melee armor. Javelins with 4 melee armor. 10 ranged armor. Here's another fun one for you. Limitane with 5 ranged armor. And by the way, you minus the 5 damage. So you minus the percentage of damage from shield wall first. And then you minus 5 armor. So the archers absolutely hate these units. Camels are going to afford those. So that'll be great. Louis actually just giving an opportunity to remove the aura entirely. Keep dropping that on the way from Louis. Wait, what? What? Wait, what? Louis! No! No! What? I can't believe that. He jumped the gun. The mangoes weren't upfield yet. And now the Ghoulam's, they're starting to reach. Ghoulam's with buff damage from the Sultan's Mamelukes. Look at that. 26 damage, 19 damage. Able to get kills fast. 2 mangoes down, third one gets sniped. Great micro there from VortiX. The staggered formation. The mangoes aren't the answer. Now the javelins are still bulked. But considering how good his army looked against mass archers, this fight did not look god tier. No, he'll still take the win at the tail end, but a pricier endeavor than he was hoping for, especially because of the worker losses. There's still additional dying. VortiX discovers a mango tower quick enough to move away. That was scary. He actually got out of range just before it started killing a lot. So we'll back off towards the deer instead. And a horseman switch now being prepped for VortiX. But does he have time for this? I mean, Louis, it definitely feels like a blunder on the gold, but I will say this of it. He has a timing now. And the mangoes may have been whiffing, but Nesta Beast is a really smart call here. Remember, a foreign engineering company gives you access to all the different siege. 2 or 3 Nesta Bees is all it'll take to deal with that archer bulk. The only thing he has to be worried about is Ghoulam's, but he already has Varangian as a decent answer. Remember, Varangian, they get more melee armor than standard, right? So they're a little bit more bulky in that role. Coming out with an outpost up from VortiX. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? After the mistakes made with the Louis Castle, VortiX answers the same. So many workers going down. Sorry, I had the headset off. I was trying to fix someone there for a sec. Oh, blimey. And VortiX, you are correct that this is the only area for gold, right? The Mangonel Towers. Oh my dick. Dude. Is this another game decided by Mango Towers? It is, right? Like, he has to get rid of these now. Ay, ay, ay. What do you do with this? And wait, was the mic cutting out? I think we're good. I think VortiX is on his deathbed here, man. Like, look at this dive. And this time the relics will be plowed out. Ay, ay, ay. VortiX, he's got one shot at this. It's mass horseman, and if it whiffs, it's no food. I mean, I mean, he's not gonna have food anyway, right? Like, it's the deer and the berries, but no farms. They're all getting shut down. All the relics down the ground. So let me just do a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right. LoueMT giving VortiX his 5 a day. 5 mangoes is exactly what you need to be healthy. I can't. I just had to. It's so dumb. These towers have pretty much broken the game. He just can't touch the golds. 66 gold a minute now, man. It's a good thing he wanted to build a horseman, because it's the only thing he'll be able to afford here. Relics. Being yoinked. Where's Louis going with this? Here, I just want to return to you. And the sandwich with the villagers. A ballsy maneuver. Vortex decides against it, understandably so. The horsemen, they're trying to go for the cutoff, and oh, please don't clip the buildings. Ranjin. I mean, this would be a good point to turn around for a fight, right? Like a choke point hold. But still, instead, he just keeps plowing deeper. Looking for a way out. Javelin's going to start sniping some villages. I like that from Louis. Understand they do nothing to kill the wall. But this is weird, man. Like, I would have thought he wanted that fight. But he just wants to dodge. Because the mangonel towers come... No, come on. Not you filthy son of a... He just dragged him all the way to the mango towers for this. Oh my god. Berserk gets activated straight away. He wipes the horsemen out. The Gulam, I mean, they should fight up well against this, but they're just too outnumbered. Outrageous gameplay from Louis. Mango towers for the hold, and then the destruction of Vortex's hopes. I can't. I freaking can't. Those goddamn towers. Gotta give. At least it was a very creative way to use the towers. I gotta give it to him. I mean, I might just call it one of the best utilization, the best use of mango towers ever. Just for the ending, you know? That was ridiculous, man. It was tower abuse. I mean, it's like a tower abuse. Like that's like saying it's mana abuse. It's like, I mean, it's silly, but it's not abuse. You know? Like, abuse is probably the wrong word. All right. So let's mark it up. Louis now in the lead. We are heading in to what could be the last game. It's going to be Cliffside, Mongols versus French. Which leaves us with final map being Gorge, right? And VortiX only has English and IU. Whereas Louis has Order the Dragon and somehow Lancaster still. Yeah, I think Order the Dragon, right? Because like English versus Lancaster is actually pretty good for English. If Vortex can get Game 7, like he actually kind of handcuffs Louis' best pick, right? The Lancaster pick. Which remember was his first pick of the draft. Plain tower defense games. Welcome to Byzantine gameplay. I mean, I said I like their economy elements, right? I think that's cool. The rest of it kind of filthy. Oh, smudging my glosses. Oh, damn. Extreme Gaming leading in the grand finals for TI. 2-1. One game away from China dominance, folks. Biggest wallet in esports cannot buy the win, question mark? Gamba? Okay, I'll raise you one better. Sub. Because then also you get more points to Gamba. Where's the subs at? Huh? I'm not hearing the laughs much today. Come on. All right, so LoueMT win. Let's get ready for game number 6. Boom. Get those subs in. Sports the channel. And let's get ready to continue this epic series. As we've got... Which scene? That one? Oh, nice. That's the right way around as well. Oh, wait. No, it's not. Oops. Flip score. And in we go. Game number 6 of this grand finals in the EWC $3,000 tournament. And LoueMT is one game away from doing it. We said going into this, he needed to prove that he's ready to be the big boy, the big beast, the number 2, if not the number 1. And what better way to do so than beating VortiX in the grand finals, the man who beat the number 1 Marine Lord 3-1 in this very event. Welcome back to the channel, folks. It is going to be a Mongols versus French matchup here on Cliffside. An interesting pick for Louis, actually. Mongols, you know, these days I feel like they play for a later phase rather than an earlier phase. So curious to see what he's going to be able to do. Especially considering Vortex got a back spawn gold. And what is up, Kasaba? I see you with the 5 gifted subs. You legend. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Remember, guys, get those subs in. Follow suit, just like Kasaba. It supports the channel and supports us on our content creator journey. Man, what a journey it's been in this tournament. These two, the brutes of the bracket by far. LoueMT was able to 4-1 Lucifer, Vortex's brother, after previously before that 3-1ing B. And then there's Vortex himself, who began his playoffs journey by 3-1ing Marine Lord to then go and 4-0 Core. Core who managed to 3-2 victory over Anatan. It's been pretty impressive by the both of them. Like, you know, going in, flexing towards this S-tier tournament, the argument is that they're the two best. Yeah, you might hear Marine Lord argue differently, like, oh, you know, I wasn't revealing all my strategies. I was saving it for the upcoming bigger prize pool tournament, right? Don't be baited by this KP. These are excuses. You can't take away what's been done here by these two. Distrominating the competition. And also Vortex, no bars hold, right? Like, you know, he's currently on a 3 win streak in our midweek muster weekly series that we do on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. 3 times in a row, different players have stepped up to try and stop him. And every time, he said no. So, be quite the painful end of the journey here. After starting what feels like a win streak that's been gaining traction for him. I think the impressive part to me is how most of those have just been so close, though. You know, bar one of the 3, they were all full game series. It just shows you how tight the competition is becoming at the upper echelons. Funny how we start nerfing and declaring all the winning civs OP. I mean, the thing is, nerfing is... So you should only resort to nerfing when it's really, like, absolutely necessary, right? You should instead explore buffing where buffing's possible. Now, that does eventually lead to power creep, but whatever. Like, power creep can be redesigned around later on where you just buff the stats generically to fix the problem again, and you go through the loop. Problem is, like, years down the line, you get what I call, like, MMORPG development, where, like, you're hitting for millions of damage and it has no relevance. But it's a good stopgap solution for quite some time. And the reason why it's better to aim at buffs instead of nerfs is when you nerf something, you're just directly, like, you know, for some people who play the game, you're just directly attacking them, right? There's a lot of people that one trick, they main a civ. So you're just straight up knocking them. And that's the problem, right? Is like it loses you players. Whereas buffing tends to gain you players. Like a player who's playing Mongols recently says, I don't like Mongols anymore. I feel like I can't do anything. All of a sudden they hear Mongols have been buffed. They're like, let's go. They're back playing the game. So yeah, that's why I'm a big fan of just buffing the underwhelming civs. So like Abbasses and English would be the ones at the moment, right? English, I just hope they find a cool way to buff them. I don't just want it to be something that encourages late gameplay. These two civs, not usually focused on the late game straight away. No, it's going to be aggro, aggro, aggro. Vortex, archery range opening here with the stables already producing the knights. Spearman on the backside, by the way. Louis, he didn't hard commit, right? Yeah, he only went for the 2 spears. Did end up losing 1. Kind of worrisome, though. Like, you're definitely going to need more spears here with knights arriving. Khan already being chased away. Age up complete. He has got the stone already gathered up, so it will be a double pump of Keshiks. Smart choice here. If you have more Keshiks than knights, you can win that fight, and it also just stops the archers in their tracks. So 2 for 1-er, really. Love this from Louis. This is really smart. Don't pro scouts. Play the map. Risky against French Knights, but you could argue the risk goes both ways here. Like Keshiks versus Knights, like both are exposed, but that's interesting. Vortex actually does now go for the Pro Scouts. Now, we've been watching some no Scouts builds recently, and it's really impressive to watch. Players have gotten so good at leveraging the first several hundred resources in a game that actually a lot of people going Pro Scouts are now ultimately getting punished. This is the type of spawn where it's kind of a mixed bag, though, right? Your opponent's got a back deer, so very hard to block. But the secondary objective should be blockable. The other important thing is the value you get here. He's on deer right now, which is intriguing. I think he's waiting for the Keshiks to pull the boar, maybe. But, like, boar is high value, right? Maybe just arrow slits. And I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird, actually, that he hasn't moved for the ball. Then again, he has been waiting for that guy. Double catching now on the way. Louis stockpiling a little. And by the way, the reason why Vortex goes archers is actually twofold. You expect spearmen, but also if you want to do pro scouts, recently one of Mongol's best answers to pro scouts has been Magadai opening. Magadai are super effective at shutting down pro scouts because they just get on top of you and then you can't get away. Yeah, it's hilarious because for Magadai, they're like, oh, I usually don't want to be too close to a unit because it will kill me. Well, I mean, scouts do 1 damage, right? So like for Magadai, that's the dream. It's like, oh, thank God. I'm just going to get just so up in your face. It's going to make you uncomfortable. You know when you like wake up from a long slumber and someone's just they're staring you in the face like, hey, you're like, what the hell? Wait, what are we talking about? Elephants for Delhi? Huh? KT and Mordor and Mangonel tells need some way to balance. Yeah, but so this is the thing. Like, the devs are actually very smart about how they try to approach balancing for Delhi elephants. They didn't nerf the elephants, did they? What they've done is they buffed the bonus damage against them for spears. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised they do that again, where they maybe buff the crossbow bonus damage a little bit. And that would solve the problem entirely. Right? Like, imagine if crossbows have an extra +2 or +4 damage against elephants. Then we're talking business. What you do there is you do actually technically nerf the elephants, but you do so in a way that the Delhi player doesn't feel like his unit's been nerfed. Right? You feel like his counter has been buffed, which makes sense. But you haven't ruined the generic applicability of the unit. That is a great strike in. Keshik's with a double kill in the gold. Louis, this is all a ruse. It is going to be a fast castle build. Yeah, and we know how this goes, right? Fast castle and then usually becomes fast imp. I don't know if you'd be able to get away with the straight up imp here, just considering that there are knights to worry about. Maybe we see an archery range, just a few crossbows to defend. Yeah, because the other problem here is this outpost. He already installed the arrow slits. He doesn't have spring order placements. Same over here, actually. Yeah, no spring ords. Louis, a little bit of out of time right now. Maybe doesn't realize it. Step readout now being built. Could he just fast him? You could actually just anchor down here with the step readout, a second outpost. Because the deer and boar are so close together, there is a world in which Louis could actually just move all of his economy here. And then just tech. It's not easy. Like, there's a lot of pressure coming your way, right? Vortex is ramping. Villager. 1 too many on the goal, so nice strike there. Vortex now up by 3 villages. He's getting sniped by the tower. I mean, it's idle time being achieved, but it's expensive when you lose knights like that. Did he glimpse it? He might have seen it with the archers. I feel like you would have dove slightly if you saw it with the archers, though. Age up complete. What's Louis' opening going to look like? It is going to be the crossbows. Yeah, crossbows and men-at-arms. He's going for a timing attack. It's clever. Vortex, he doesn't have that many knights yet. Nowhere near ready for an age up. You know, he only recently started pro scouting. He's not seeing the full reward of it yet. Meanwhile, your opponent is kind of mirroring the pro scouts without needing to commit to the deer gathering with the scouts. Still hasn't been for free. No, not with the pressure that Vortex has been pushing towards that location. Also, just very limited on how many people Lou's able to have out there. In a game where he ran out of sheep, right? He's on berries right now. That's my concern. If this is a fast castle plan, the only way it works is if you buy with gold into the food. Wow, bales. He has to, right? Like the crossbow men-at-arms count isn't there just yet. And it is going to be that classic full shift across the gold. So 15 workers actually make it 13 onto the gold line. Some more berries to be set up for, and Louis even thinking about relics at this stage. You're being piled onto by feudal French aggro. Like, how many people think about relics while that's happening, right? Like, this is such a Louis-esque type thing. Props to him, though. It definitely looks like it should pay off. Khan also becomes quite annoying. The trickle damage definitely matters against the archers. Keshik never got upgraded. It's just going to be thrown away. But now with Spirals coming in, like, VortiX is very difficult to dive. I think he just has to get out of the feudal age. He's done a good job starving off the food. He's even snatched away now with the pro scouts. Straight on placements. Only one of them. Wait, none of them? Wait, I thought he had spring odds. I'm confused. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, highlight wrong. There you go. He's got one spring. You do not want to be diving that. It's a 5-hit killer on knights. So yeah, VortiX now with the guild hall. Hey, Louis, I don't know, man. I feel like the idle time is just too much. His men-at-arms count isn't actually that threatening. He's got 5 MAA, and VortiX has double the archers to crossbow count. Like, VortiX is in a pretty cozy position right now. And this also, I don't know, kind of puts you on the clock in a weird way. Like, your opponent can keep aggroing into you without aging, whereas your age up gets blocked. And then eventually he will be able to age up by default because of the food generation. This is annoying. Very annoying. Anyone who's played against French recently understands that. It just feels like a clock starts. Tick, tock, tick, tock, and a smushing waiting to happen. Villagers running back towards the Yam, but this is a scramble and a panic. He caught him running across the map at the perfect moment for the Vet Knight dive. Several workers will club them down and just look to retreat away now. Respects the emplacements again, as well as the crossbowmen. One relic home. Louis has got 2 more traveling back, and in fact, they're pretty much already home. Still, the tough part here for me about Louis' plan is just all this idle time is really adding up now. Doesn't have the pastures underneath the TC. Hasn't been able to just consolidate and gather throughout. VortiX now with the veterancy on the archers. Ranged armor 2. He's ready to start moving in for a kill. Great grab there as well. Catches the Uvu. And yeah, 3 monks here because you're just shooting your shot on the flanks, right? It's not a bad idea here. You get lots of gold. That's the one thing you can guarantee with step redoubt. Can't. I mean, every little counts, right? But he didn't even get the little. Second gold vein. That's such a good spawn for VortiX, man. Like, if an outpost rush had happened, sure, it's annoying. But, like, past that point, back-to-back golds, not even a screen's distance to walk. Both on the back of your base. Especially when you consider Louis couldn't play Keshiks into this, right? Having to go infantry makes it feel impossible to shut down the gold. Not liking this look for Louis. Yeah, archers, they go for the crossbows, and the knights are on the way. VortiX just played this so well. Because now the crossbows are gone, the spearmen have to commit through the archers to re-engage. So the knights just rush him down. And that is a killing blow right there. Louis, he's got nothing left. No, his food income is about to be intercepted again. Archers will just snipe down what little remains. Knights ready to full commit. Even the archers do well now into the men-at-arms. And we, folks, are gonna be seeing a Game 7. These boys need the full distance to decide it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, yes. Full breadth of a series. These two son of a guns are keeping me away from watching TI. A shameful display. All right, so final map upcoming. We know it's going to be Gorge. I think you're probably looking at Order of the Dragon versus English. Because, like, the Lancaster bit, I don't know, man. If it's Lancaster English, I'm backing English. It is. It's Lancaster English, dude. He actually went for... Order of the Dragon would have done better against English, right? I guess not, because does your opponent not just 2TC? I think it's a hard one. But, like, this is... I think this looks good for VortiX. I've seen English beat Lancaster a lot. However, we haven't seen it since the Lords build began. This was always with the Lancaster Castle build, where English could beat Lancaster rather quite well. But with the Lords build and a focus on Hovelar, longbows could struggle a lot here. So if that's the way, if I start seeing Lancaster Castle, I'm just like, I'm in the VortiX camp. But if we see the Lords, that's when things become a lot more explorational, and I'm getting quite excited for the thought of it. Yeah, I told you guys. You just like, it's easy. Just have the multi-stream. Have all the streams open. You can have EDC open, this open, TI open, Rainbow Six open. Isn't there some Rocket League going on right now as well? Rocket League open. You know, like. No, EGC's not on. Stay here. I swear I just said that and 10 people left, actually. In fairness, bless them. Like, I mean, it's a qualifier versus a grand finals featuring 2 of the top 8. It's, like, very hard for it to compete, you know? Like, right now, I think they've got, I just checked, they've got SAS versus YZY, whoever the hell that is. Really show up properly in your follow channels. One thing I found quite interesting recently is that devs can collab for their, like, with their directory for a Twitch channel, right? Like, I remember seeing that with the Mechabellum, where, like, if you followed the tournament channel, it would be top of your, like, your follow list, which is very interesting. Because, like, the problem with following is, in general, guys, following is just kind of pointless. Like, following, like, I mean, some people have notifications on, but for the most, like, you know, think about how many channels each you are following. The reason why you often don't see the channels you're looking for is because you're following too many channels. Most people don't unfollow channels, though, is the thing. Because following a channel costs you nothing, right? All right, let's get ready to roll, though. Many of you have been looking for an answer to Lancaster, and this has been one of the best. The Civil War victors. English actually counters Lancaster at multiple phases of the game when you go for the Lancaster Castle build, the mana span build. But there's a problem here. VortiX's English has so far been countering Lancaster in tournaments. But there's a new Lancastrian build taking over, and many players are struggling to find the answer. That's right. Game number 7, LoueMT with House of Lancaster, and the Abbey of Kings build has been taking over. I'm a wee little bit concerned about this. This new build, I've seen multiple players not quite sure what to do about it. English, the biggest strength in how they can counter House of Lancaster can be early longbow pressure when it's mana spam. But when it's Hovelar, you're running headfirst into a counter. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, mind you. I think English actually have some really good timings around the late game. They actually match up really well against Lancaster with men at arm spam. just because usually Lancaster does Yeoman Spears, which has no effect against that. So things to keep an eye out for here. I think if Louis goes for the Abbey of Kings build, he's probably going to be favored early game and mid game. But late game, English looks pretty good. Step one, of course, is going to be, is it Abbey of Kings or is it Council Hall? I wouldn't be surprised to see a Council Hall rush here, especially considering how forward most of your resource options are. Yeah, and we haven't seen anyone shifting over stone or wood. It is going to be Abbey from Louis. And VortiX isn't in position to sniff that out. Not just that, VortiX has a horrible scank rotation here. Louis, he cut him off! No! VortiX didn't realize he's got 8 sheep compared to 15. Now, Lancaster does start with more, but that's still a big advantage to have here. And it is indeed Abbey of Kings on Abbey of Kings. Okay. And there's this, so it is going to be the 2TC. He will switch. Yeah, so this is going to be aggro versus 2TC. I'm actually really worried for VortiX now. This is the literal best civ to Hobbler rush in the game. Think about it, guys. The attack speed is kind of pointless when you use a bow attack into free ranged armor Hobbler. Like the big advantage that the English usually have is their villagers are very efficient fighters because they're ranged. Something that only Lancaster and English have, but in this circumstance, in this situation, against this type of enemy, it's actually a downside. Because English and Lancaster have historically sucked at dealing with horseman raids. Usually you try to bulk spearmen though, like that's the saving grace for VortiX, is like you're usually looking at TC into mass spears and just sit in your base. That's someone that uses the attack speed well. The question here is going to be whether he can get to it. I don't know why you're highlighting men-at-arms and feudal. Like, English are going to rush men-at-arms and feudal. The thing you probably are most worried about here is hobby. Men-at-arms is usually, like, it can be a better generic answer to Hobbler plus Yeoman. Lot of gold, by the way. Is this... Okay, there we go. He's just getting some eco-tech. I was like, there's no way we're getting Pro Scout Lancaster. That would be completely unhinged. So yeah, it's just him prepping for the eco-techs. No stone gathering, by the way. That's Lord soon to spring out. Of course, the extra gold gathering now is going to go into Lord Massing. You want to get this up to 4 as quickly as possible. It just amplifies the rest of your army. And there it is. The glorious stables. Interesting thought here. Hobblars bulk up quickly. They run quicker than a king. You could get rid of VortiX's only raider quite quickly here. The TC, I imagine, is he dropping on the gold? Most of the time you drop it near the Abbey of Kings, so any harass damage done can be healed off. Deer would be a pretty sick idea, though. Like, I know the gold's on the forward, which is why he's going to do it, but like the idea of more food here is really nice. Yes, English can build farms, but Deer... It gives you a much more aggressive timing towards White Tower. That is going to be the full defensive TC. In fairness to him, placing a TC out here will just encourage the Hobbler dive and a burn. And Louis starting to creep into the Hobbler now. How did you guys predict? 72% for LoueMT. Hobbler have been revealed. Is this now a commit? Because I do wonder if there's a world in which you ever just White Tower rush here. No, it's commitment, baby. Blacksmith coming through. Okay, so Blacksmith, very important here, guys. Undermesh is ridiculous. A TC, default fire is 8 damage. You get Undermesh, you half it on Hobbler. To make matters better, garrison slots are default 6 damage. So you offset 66% of the damage received on your Hobbler. Hobbler, which, by the way, are going to have more health, courtesy of Lord Lancaster. And by the way, is Louis going for an outpost rush? Oh my god, he is. I mean, why not? Like, this is the wacky thing here. The Hobblers will kill any villagers that step up. This is wild. And look how deep he's jamming it. Yeah, screw Arislet. Let's just straight up shoot him. The king sees it. VortiX, this is going to be difficult. Is there textiles? No textiles. King gets blocked. So I think you just guard the villagers with the lords and use the Hobblers to poke at the villagers. But here we go. Outpost on the way. And he has pitch perfectly placed it. I can't believe that. Hobblers just idling out the gold. And VortiX is prepping Longbow. Wait, is prepping Longbow into Hobbler? Oh my god. I mean, it solves to the lords cleanly. But the hobbies... I mean, they need to go outside and get a hobby, man. Like, these lamos, they just keep winning the same way every single time. This is like that person who can't win a fight against you on their own. They always have to bring their big brother into it. And the big brother lords, they almost got the grab there. Lord will retreat. Villagers will make their way home with the wheelbarrow. Okay, now you castle. This is really well played. Yeah, so we talked about the theory of, like, yeah, maybe just castle here. But if you just castle here, VortiX, by the time you castle and get to his base, should have White Tower as well. Now he don't. Right? Now he's taking risks. Risks that Louis should go looking for. He garrisons the lords and he goes hunting. He knows. He hasn't scouted out on the flanks yet. At least not up here. This is such a sick read. And you can see the paranoia. VortiX runs further away. Seeing a full creep towards Louis' golds. Hobbler actually hanging around the base. King does get the dive in. Louis a little bit slow on the reaction there, but formation shuffling is broken, so hey-ho. King scared away. This is... I don't understand how every time I see Lords of Lancaster builds, they're dirtier. I'm going to have to go shower after the stream. Not because I'm sway. I just feel dirty watching this. I feel dirty giving you guys the deets on this, all right? Like, I am now responsible for what you do with this action. I take that seriously. And that's exactly why you should subscribe to the channel. So that you can learn more. Yes, give me money to give you tricks. What's the shower? It's Meteor Shower, the ability from Age of Mythology. Oh my god, he's not done! No way! Longbow's being built by VortiX, but LoueMT is going for a White Tower rush. He's spent enough time on this grand finals. He is done. It is full vamos against the Spaniard. And my god, it's even just gonna hide the puny little outpost behind it. I can't believe this. Villages, I mean, you can't approach. You've got no textiles. It's only now been queued up. 12 villages, textiles as well, torches out, but the lords are waiting to spring the trap. They jump in. Surround from VortiX. He starts to snipe though. The Lombos, they might be the MVP here. He's got the damage. He's getting a kill one by one. The snipes are looking good. The tower is gone. It's not working. Louis, no! The White Tower was too deep. It's completely failed. And history will repeat. The Yorkers emerge victorious. And VortiX will maintain that win streak. No doubt about it. Short bows to try and kill the lords right now is hilarious, but the long bows are still here. Louis, just a greedy maneuver too far. Wait a second. He's coming back. He's trying again. This guy is a psychopath. He's pulled everyone. This is it. Louis knows it. Not a single villager is left gathering. Either this White Tower goes up or he goes down. but it looks futile. VortiX will be your EWC champion. Lion's share, the 3K tournament prize pool will go to the Spaniard, and his win streak coming into this EGC tournament continues, now up to 4. I just can't even begin. Oh my god. G to the G. Well played by VortiX. So English still is the answer. I can't believe that, man. I mean, that outpost looked like it. Like the outpost looked like it just ended the game right away, right? Like I thought it was over that. Unbelievable. I'm just checking because we might have an interview with VortiX, by the way. So I just need to double check that. Let me see if he wants to do one. So yes, that means $3,000 tournament. Victorious is going to be VortiX. So he takes the lion's share. He takes $1,000 home. LoueMT, not too bad. Does get the $500 reward. So Spain, they almost took half of the total prize pool because Lucifer got 300 for third place. Damn. Vamos, amigos. Let me see if VortiX is around and good for an interview. All right, nice. All right, we're gonna phone VortiX. We're gonna talk to him a little bit. Hello, hello. Congratulations, mate. Freaking fantastic series there. Yeah, we're a little bit cheaper than EGC. I haven't set up the cameras. We'll just keep it simple. So don't worry, you don't have to comb the hair or anything. But we got to talk about this series. We got to talk about your win streak, mate. Like I made a bold prediction. I said going into EGC, I think you might be the guy to cinch it. How are you feeling about your form right now? Because from what I'm seeing, it feels like you're playing the best AoE you have this year. Oh, wait, one sec. One sec. We haven't got your audio coming through. Let me fix that. I know why. It's because Discord has changed the audio channel. Okay, it should be coming through, but I don't think it is. Give me a second, sorry. Why are you not being picked up by that? Yeah, we got screwed by the Windows updates earlier, so like everything broke. Like, give me a second, chat. I think I know what's... I know what's doing. I just need to add in... Okay, try speaking now. Don't think they did. Try again. No? Okay, one second. Dude, what the hell? If I try... That's the problem as well, the algo is saying I have so many different channels, good God. Okay, try now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Nice. Okay, we have got you on the line. All right, so sorry. Recapping what I was saying. Best form of the year so far for you?
Yeah, the year and probably since I play AoE4, I think.
I'm feeling it. Like, do you think it's the meta as well? I feel like we're moving towards a more aggressive meta.
There's many things. One of them is I actually changed my table, my computer, and my monitor, which were super old. So I think that helped. I went from like 60 hertz to like 180, which is a massive upgrade. And then I think the last break I took, I think I never took like a complete break from AOE4 except when I went to play AOM.
Mhm.
And it really helped, like 2 or 3 weeks without playing a single game, not streaming. I think it really helped me get my motivation back because I was a little bit burnt out by then. And that together, like all those things together with the meta change, like you said, I think it's really helped me achieve like my top shape.
Do you think that's always been like, Mister's the one that comes to mind for that? Like, he just takes those breaks. For him, he's theory crafting. Was it like, did you find yourself thinking about the game while you were away from it? Or was it just completely blank slate in the brain so you could start
Nah,
fresh?
it was completely disconnection. Like when I came back, I didn't even know what the meta was. People were telling me you have to play Lancaster with like the other landmark. I was like, what the hell? Like, did I change game or what happened here? No, I didn't see almost anything. I was just completely disconnecting from AO4.
And let's speak about Lancaster, right? Because like you've been doing it at my KPMMs. I've seen it from way too many people. What's your take on the Lords of Lancaster builds we've been seeing?
Um, I don't know if lords are that strong because they are very expensive. They're very slow. I think it's mainly the combination with like hobblers, right? Because you get like a very cheap light cavalry, and they have like a ton of HP and also like +4 range armor if you get like the +1. So it's like super easy to like dive into towers, TCs, archer masses. I think it's the combination of both. Um, but maybe the lords also maybe the buff a little bit too strong, right? 5% per lord.
Yeah.
That's 20%, maybe a little bit too much. But I think the main problem is grouping them with hobblers. It's the composition that's kind of strong, I feel like.
That was my feeling as well. It's like, because if you think about Yeoman are really expensive, but that comp also becomes viable with Hobbler because it's 33% less for your horseman, but you're paying 20% more for your archer, right? It's like economically it balances out really nice. And then of course the sheep gathering rate gets you so many Hobbler.
Yeah, and also I feel like lords have way too much DPS. Like you might think they are like a men at arm, but it's actually like a knight without a horse, right? They
Yeah.
are really strong. It's actually, but yeah. Then again, I don't think it's too much the unit because it's also really expensive. I think it's the combo.
Definitely. And we got to go back and talk about that monitor. You all these years, 60 mate, you went to Red Bull Wallalol. Those were 144 hertz. Did you not instantly after that be like, okay, I need one of these at home?
I mean, okay, so this is the sad part. I actually bought the new monitor, but I didn't change the hertz, and I think it was on 60 by default. So for the last 3 years, I was playing on 60 hertz, but then I bought like a new one, like a really good one, and then I was like, okay, I have to double check that I'm actually configuring this properly, and then I went to like 180.
I'm gonna just say it. You could have had more titles than Marine Lord, mate. That could have been the thing holding you back.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's how it works, but for sure it would have helped.
All right, well, we're going to quickly dissect one to the other games because I got to talk to you about like some other balance points. We talked about the House Lancaster game already. Draft wise, Knights Templar, was that a surprise? Like that getting through to you? It just felt like that was your auto win, right?
Yes, but it's a best of 7, and there's only one ban for each. So you either have to like ban KT or China, right? I guess.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Like Holy Island is. It's not like Archipelago, right? The Archipelago is full water. You're gonna lose 100% against KT. But in Holy Island, you can try some shenanigans on land, maybe get some raids in or something. So I guess he was kind of hoping on that. Actually, I guess his plan was just what he did, right? Just suck water, go fast castle, and maybe get all relics, and maybe you can win like that because water is like giga nerfed for a while, the fishing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think that should work against a good KT player.
No, so we got potentially KT feeling a bit busted. You don't think Lords feel busted? We've got to get another one for the busted camp. Talk to me about the Mango Tower from the Byzantine game because I feel like that cost you everything.
I don't know. I've been saying this for ages. I feel like that tower is way too boosted. It's also expensive, right? So it's not like you cannot make it on the 9th minute or something. It's something that hits on late game. So I guess it's kind of okay, but I don't know. At the same time, it just feels really sad playing against Byzantine, and you can't push anywhere, right? Because for like 300 stone, they get like the emplacement and they get the reinforcement on the tower. So it's like it's almost like a keep, pretty much. And then you group that with like the like the oil units, which he has a ton behind them. I don't know. It's so hard to push into Byzantine.
And so we got the monitor upgraded. You said you upgraded everything, right? So that, I've just got this image now, VortiX, that you sit there on a cardboard box with a Windows 98 mouse and keyboard, one of the the call center headsets, and a CRT monitor.
Nah, my hardware is pretty good. It was just the monitor and the PC that were a little bit old. I mean, the monitor was fine, as like I said, I just didn't configure it properly, right? I mean, it was like 3 years old already. Yeah. I bought it after Red Bull.
You finally got the value of it. I mean, once again, congrats, mate. Final thoughts, upcoming tournament, different map pool, different set of players. How are you feeling about like your odds there overall? Like, is there any cause for concern? Because I feel like free-winning Marine Lord in particular in this event must have put any concerns at ease.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have good chances of maybe not winning, but at least topping my results in the last S tiers. Like I said, I'm feeling on my best shape ever. So, but then again, I don't know. It's just one series, right? Against Marine Lord and one against Louis. They're super good, and maybe tomorrow I play against them, and they're gonna like 3-0 me. You never know. I think Marine Lord also, his draft was a little bit awkward, so he probably learned from that. He always says my draft is bad. Get out drafted, mate. Nah, but it's gonna be hard for sure. But I think I have decent chances. At least I'm feeling it, right? Like sometimes when I went into S tiers, I was like, let's try to reach semifinals or something. But now I actually think I can win. So that's a good motivation for me to try hard.
That is the power of smooth mouse movement, my friend. Welcome to the universe.
Must be that.
All right, mate. Well, big congrats on the win. You are the victor here at EWC. I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming EGC tournament. I'm going to let you get some rest, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you. Have a good one, mate.
Cheers, bud. All right, good to hear from VortiX. 60 hertz mono. You know what the best part is? Like, Sass has been in my chat before when we used to have. So before we upgrade our PC and we got the the laptop and PC set up, Sass would be like, why don't you ever play the game? I was like, oh, because I get like 40 frames when I'm recording in 1440p. He's like, oh yeah, 40 frames is playable. No. Okay, there's your proof. Look at VortiX. All of a sudden is the #1 god of AoE 4. All it took was getting 120 hertz mono. But folks, I do believe that is going to bring us to a close. A reminder, I will be back tomorrow where KPMM will return, and you'll be able to catch some VortiX there as well. You can see that bracket is still pretty damn stacked from the round of 16 and onwards. We were casting a mixture of live as well as recorded games, so be sure to tune in Monday. We should be live about midday-ish on Mondays. We go live for UK time, so about midday 12. And then just convert that to your local areas. Normally we're live between midday 12 for UK time and about 2 p.m. maximum. Sometimes Thursdays start a little bit later, but Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Not this Friday. Actually, no, we will stream on Friday, but KPMM is going to be taking a break after this week. So this week is still on because I will be going on holiday, doing a rare thing, taking my family abroad. But we've still got plenty of fun coming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday before I travel. So thank you everyone for tuning in. YouTube, Kick, TikTok. I'm going to end the stream now, baby. Thank you all for tuning in. Twitch, we're going to get ready to raid